Welcome to today's session of Viewer Levels. I see we've got quite a lot in the queue already, so thank you for standing by with all those codes as we get off to a slightly delayed start. Just to do the usual warm-up and sound check at the beginning, we're going to start here with a quick warm-up level. Let's do some Beethoven. One thing we can guarantee is that Ludwig will not show up in this level because it was made back in 2019 by Kaneko, who we saw recently with the Pokemon music level in 6YMM. This is Für Elise, one of the best-known works, of course, in the beginner piano repertoire. And this time it's going to involve full jumps only and following the arrows. Let's take a look. And yeah, welcome everybody who's submitted already. Nugukaza, King Brock, Dark Koopa Troll, and Blue Blur. Looking forward to the levels today. You probably should get as much of a dash as you can off of the conveyor belt before you try to do what I just did. And apparently it's full jumps only, so we'll just find the right timing for that. This is why we do the warm-up, apparently. Okay. Full jumps, yeah, should have been a full bounce off that Goomba. And Blue Blur, no worries about swapping accounts and doing whatever else you need to do to have things running. Kind of like the way that the tempo is managed at the very beginning of this track, in fact. With the... Actually, no, that's exactly what the conveyor belt is doing. It's slowing down the first few notes, so it looks like you have that gentle introduction here. Yeah, you listen to that first phrase carefully. Listen to how the loading speed for that is just slightly slower, so you can have a bit more of a natural phrasing as you get into the beginning. And then, of course, you have the used to conveyor belts for a bit of a retardando, so... no, Glitch, Nugukaza has a view, but I'm going to make one little executive change to the queue today. So, Glitch is going to go first today before I get into the queue, and the reason is that last week Glitch was first up and didn't actually get to go because we had a long warm-up level followed by skip the queue. So, I'm going to make a bit of a queue intervention here and say that Glitch is going first, and then we are going to the standard queue after that. Just so people are aware of what's going on. Yeah. Yeah, no, because it was a little bit unfair for you last week that you came at the very start and didn't get to go, so we'll make up for that today. Yeah, I was planning to do that anyway if you came in today, so... And, you know, for people who are relatively new here, we're fairly casual about the queue in terms of trying to accommodate things like that whenever we can. And Zixie, welcome. Don't think I said hello to you earlier. Okay. Look at that triple Bowser over here. Yeah, I should have jumped right at the end of that blue platform. We went just a little bit early. Whoops. Okay. Down we go. And then have another Rolantando there on the conveyor belt. Yeah, the thing that makes this really kind of special as music level, particularly a bit of an early one from September 2019, is that there's tons of stuff going on here with tempo control just to make everything sound really natural. Ziggsy, this level is made by Kaneko, who most recently made the Maker Walk level that was the Pokemon music level. The Pokemon Black and White music level that was in 6YMM very recently. I haven't played very many of their levels at all before, so I thought I'd go back to some of the older selections in Kaneko's list. Whoops. Just a little bit late there, once again. Man, welcome. Okay. Here we go. And as usual, I hope everything with the stream video and audio are actually running okay. That's why we're starting with a music level today. Just make sure the audio is not glitching out too much, as it sometimes does later in the stream. And there's the goal. You remember this level? Yeah, it's very popular. It's got about 7,000 plays on it. I'd never seen it, even if it is a Beethoven level. And it was a Cape Feather at the very end that I didn't quite receive. That's okay. We like it. Roru holding the record on this after all this time. Okay, like I said, we're going to make a quick intervention with the queue, and Glitch is going to get a free skip today. And then we're going to go down the usual order. So just give me one moment while I try to manage that in the bot. Glitch, the Goomba hat level in 6YMM that was by Paxman was fantastic. It's one of my favorites in the whole season so far. It was one of the ones I was most excited about in the whole season, in fact, because it involved the Goomba hat and because I know Paxman is a maker who knows how to use it well. And I think he absolutely delivered. Thought it was wonderful. And Flux Capacitor, yeah, long time. Hope you've been doing well. So, Glitch, you are going to be first up. You do show up as current. Yeah, Glitch, I check the comments all the time when I play those levels, and I think yours was already up at that time, so I believe I did see yours on Infiltration Station. Okay, Glitch, what did you mean to show me, then? Did we see early versions of a lot of the more recent Gunhead stuff? Or, oh no, this must be re-uploads of some of the earlier ones, right? Because I'm sure I've played all of them before. We could do something older too, unless you want me to take a look at one of the newer uploads. They're re-uploads for fixes. Yeah, we can take a look at something that I haven't done. Skip the Gunheads? Okay, we'll do something different. We've done the early version of Bloodborne before. We can do Gladiator Run, if you'd like. That seems like it might be a natural choice, in fact. So yeah, let's take a look at Gladiator Run. Remade one of your Mario Maker 1 levels. This was earlier on this year, March 2021. And the Flux Capacitor, thank you for the submission. Yeah, 0.83, we'll see how well we do. It's about 30 seconds, so... You joined Team Pipe recently, too. I don't think I knew there was a Team Pipe. Maybe this was not a good idea. Hang on. No. I wonder if... Well, let's see here. 30 seconds. Wait, let's check this. For anything. Because this looks like a bit of a tight jump. And then you have to get on the platform directly, I see. Team Pipe was the very first team, and it's been around since Maker 1. I didn't know that. I didn't know much about the Maker Team system until fairly... I wouldn't say late, but definitely a few months into Maker 2, I would say. Because I wasn't really up on a lot of the community side of Maker 1. We do need to wind up this jump and start from the very left, I think. Nugukasa, I would have assumed that Team P-Balloon was tubular, but okay. We'll take it. We do need to ride this out a little longer. Okay. Let's try this. Yeah, for better or for worse Glitch, I will say that it does very conspicuously feel kind of like a Maker 1 remake. Partly because you have these like really wide continuous sections, what I just associate with a lot of Maker 1 style design. Let's pull back a bit on that one. It's built wide enough that I do have a little bit of trouble seeing ahead to what we have to do, but it's okay. Yeah, we'll just try to get that landing. And Meal64, welcome. And Glitch, as I said, last week we did play the level by Meal64 that featured your boss collaboration. And Jurassic Yoshi and HP Nick, welcome in as well. Keep overshooting this thing. Yeah, Dark Coup Patrol, I'm glad you enjoyed the commentary, as always. As long as I wind up that jump from the beginning, usually I should be able to hit that, so... Yeah, I do need to do a bit of an adjustment here. Okay, ice conveyors, and then we need to... Okay. That's actually surprisingly manageable. That will take a little bit of adjustment. Radio voice, Mang, makes you feel like a radio. But of course it does. Has anyone played Deltarune Chapter 2 yet? Yeah, I know that a couple of people in this community have been busy with it. And have especially been praising the music, as they usually do with Toby Fox. I have not been playing it because I haven't even caught up on Chapter 1. I remember thinking when Deltarune came out that, like when Chapter 1 came out, I thought, okay, let's just wait for him to finish it. Otherwise, I just won't remember things between episodes. And I don't even remember much about Undertale at this point. It's been too long. And I never really played it to as serious a level as a lot of people. I do see where to go for that trampoline to the right. Yeah, so no spoilers, I guess, for the people who haven't played it yet. Since we do have some people saying that they still have to get to it, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what's going on with Deltarune personally. I am only kind of vaguely aware of it as Toby Fox's follow-up project. And, oh, let's wind up a jump. Glitch, you've been saying that you've been playing Minecraft, which has been taking up your creative focus. And Dark Coup Patrol, thank you so much for the sub. Really appreciate it. Dark Coup Patrol, if you want to sub-privilege in the queue, you do need to rejoin the queue, just so you know, because currently the bot does not update that by itself. But if you want to take advantage of your sub-privilege, or sub next in the queue, you can always just use the leave command and just add yourself back in. You don't have to. You're early enough in the queue that I don't think it makes too much of a difference. It might not make any difference, in fact. But that's just for future reference for any new subs. I think you're probably fine. And yeah, Metroidtober is a good way of putting it. I actually have been playing mainline Metroid itself. I was doing a bit of Axiom Verge last month, but I didn't really get that far into it before I was distracted by too many other things. But yeah, I was playing through Zero Mission last week, poking around with Samus Returns this week. I probably won't have time to do both Super and Fusion, because I'm not well practiced enough in Super to kind of do it in a 2-hour sitting or something. It's been a few years since I last played it. I have to admit, and I know that Meal64 will be very judgmental about this, that earlier today I was actually watching somebody stream Other M. Like, I was watching somebody who had been running a stream for a Metroid fan site that had apparently been up since the 1990s. Like, they're doing a full Metroid retrospective on their channel, and today was Other M Day, and this guy was maybe not very happy about the experience. Like, he was doing his job, I guess. Yeah, I really do want to cram in Fusion sometime next week, though, because I haven't played it in many years now. Probably 6 or 7 years since I last looked at it. And here we go. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in Other M that strikes me as just conspicuously under-tested. That, you know, you look at some things and say, okay, something went wrong in playtesting here because somebody who has been looking at a development build of this every single day is going to approach it very differently from somebody who's coming in blind. And not sure where that Roblox advert is coming in all of a sudden, but yeah, we'll see if that continues. I assume that you were a human who was just really passionate about Roblox, but you know, select all of the images in this grid that involve Roblox. I probably couldn't do that, by the way, successfully. I don't know enough about Roblox to pass something like a CAPTCHA test that would involve Roblox. Oh, it's a copy pasta thing? Okay, I see. I'm not up on the copy pasta meta, unfortunately. We don't have very close ties to the copy pasta factory. Okay, let's try to make this jump. Ooh. There we go. Oh, I don't like this. Oh no, that's okay, we could have made that. And yeah, I do remember reading the, Iwata asks for Other M, I think. But it's been long ago enough now that I'm not really clear about that. And the thing is, Other M was one of those cases where I think the backlash kind of set in late. In some ways. Like, it wasn't a very immediate thing. I mean, some people hated it right away, of course, and they were very vocal about that subject right from the start. Anyway, here we go. And so, yeah, Glitch, I can tell it's a Maker 1 port, and I think some of the things that you would want to clean up in retrospect are probably very obvious to you, but I'm glad we managed to fit that in. Like I've been telling people recently, after I'm finished with Metroid Dread, I am planning to stream some Maker 1, and it'll be fascinating to go back to that and sort of think about how much our approach to Maker design has changed. Just given the new tools we have for camera management, scroll management, etc. Like, it's a drastically different game because of the toys that we've been playing with. Let's mark that as a win. Let's go next. So, typical order is next and sub-next, for anybody who doesn't know that already. And yeah, Maker 1, I was one of the people who had that real huge initial burst of enthusiasm and then kind of dropped off the game very quickly. And then years later, actually just a few weeks before Mario Maker 2 was announced, I caught up on a ton of the community stuff and got big into Maker 1 all over again, right in time. Right in time to be excited about the sequel. Because by then, like, it had gotten so good in my absence, you know, just from missing 2 or 3 years while I was busy playing the Switch or whatever else. Anyway, here's a line by the Gale, Team E-Balloon. And it looks like this must be the finished version of the concept that Nugukaza was showing me last week. One of the finished versions. Yeah, I guess this is the high clear percentage one, so let's take a look. Don't go left and right. Do go up and down, and it does recommend a D-pad. And yeah, we play tested an early version of this concept, and I'm glad to see it finished. Okay, so this is going to be up and down only. And the reason is that when the wind blows you, and you don't go left and right, the pixel lineup is perfect, as you can see. Like, it moves you an exact number of blocks. And so that's the thing that Nuka-Kaza is taking advantage of in this level. That as long as you... Whoops. No, we need to redo this one. As long as you line up at the very start, and you let the wind take you over, you're in good shape. Just like that. And a precision check is actually fairly easy to get by. TPB. And I'll catch up in chat in just a moment. Let's fly to P-Balloon a bit first. And then, let's dodge the one-way panels. Whoop, nope, something went wrong. Probably nudged a corner. But yeah, it looks really stylish to do this because it looks like you're totally playing super precision when all you're doing is taking advantage of a property of the wind that I think most people don't know about and haven't had any occasion to use unless you're doing like super precision levels. So, I think I did tap left by accident, so let's bump back here. We do need to line up. I think maybe we line up right at the wall. Or we reset through the door. Actually, resetting through the door is better because the wind will blow us an exact number of blocks. And the mushrooms are there to give you a bit of a safety buffer when you do that. So. Apparently, electronic devices made before 2017 are going to lose internet access pretty soon. Like, at what level is that being cut off? Is this... like, I'm not quite up on cybersecurity, so I'll have to look that up afterwards. I mean, it depends on how serious a security compromise it is and at what level that access is being restricted. I think that yeah, I mean, a lot of the legacy security issues you just kind of have to live with and pray that things don't go too wrong. I mean, like, I read a quip by somebody who's an expert on machine learning and artificial intelligence recently that one of the reasons where I do have to loop around clockwise is what I have to do here. That's, you know, we don't really need to be paranoid about things like the singularity or about, like, super competent AI or anything like that, because the actual issue is that we're absolutely swimming in kind of runaway dumb AI, basically, like bad systems and legacy systems that are totally out of control, and which are very opaque in terms of function, just because of how the various machine learning models have been trained. And, okay, we do need to do a full clockwise loop. I am trying to do that now, I'm just not dodging the flowers very well. And here we go. Okay, yes. Yeah, the on-off switch goes automatically. Okay, so that's the issue that I had there, was that I got hit by fire on my way down. Digital certificate used in most devices before 2017 that is set to expire on September 30th. Yeah, 2017 seems like an extremely recent horizon for something like that. But, yeah, I'll have to look into that. This is actually the first I've heard of it. But like I said, that would actually be a bit of a problem. Wait, we're already past the 30th of September, though, right? So, why is that... Like, are we talking about next year, 26th of September? It's only for devices that haven't gotten a system updates before 2017, I see. That actually is the case with some of my devices, so... we'll... see what's going on in terms of legacy support. Anyway. Got it. TPB. And yeah, ML64, the 3DS and Wii U, I've actually been using both in recent memory. I was saying earlier I was playing Metroid Zero Mission. I was, in fact, playing that on Wii U. Nice. I think the loop worked out in a fairly relaxing fashion in the end. Very easy to understand as a bit of a training level for this mechanic. Yeah, the Wii U has one glaring issue when it comes to modern home networks, which is that if you don't have your channel set up properly, because the gamepad communicates over the 5 gig Wi-Fi band, if you've converted all of your devices to 5 gig Wi-Fi, you potentially run into tons of interference. But channel change can usually solve that, as far as I know. Roby Angel, we're doing just fine. Do we have a sub next? Technically, Dark Coup Patrol is the sub next. But that's okay, we'll just go with the standard order for now, since you're just one spot back. So, King Brock, if you'd like to check in, and you are here, so let's plug in AKS. I see a precision playtest from Nugu Kaza, and I assume that's going to be the hard mode. And yeah, Nugu Kaza, as far as Subnext goes, we won't do repeats just yet. Maybe if more subs pile in, but you know how it goes around here, so. Legend of Bracada 3-2, we're going to continue the adventure. You're under attack by a horde of spikes who throw annoying snowballs. Very few clears on this so far. One clear on this so far. So let's add to that. And yeah, I had to jump through a lot of hoops just to get my Mario Maker 1 setup working again. Which is one complication after another. Because apparently there's an old bug with the Wii U in terms of acquiring a local IP that has also never been fixed. And anyway, I don't remember the exact details off the top of my head, but I just know that it was a bit of a pain to test my Wii U setup again after plugging it back in for the first time in a few years and in a totally different network. In a totally different place. After having gone through the adventure of recovering it in the first place, because I had been without it for a while. I was separated from my Wii U before the pandemic, and it took me a while to get it back. And then I needed to reunite it with the charger, with the gamepad, and of course with the copy of Mario Maker, and everything was at a different place. I still have not recovered my Mario Maker souvenir booklet, I should say, the souvenir ideas booklet, which I also have on PDF, but as a collector's item I am missing the booklet that originally came with the disc version of the game. Mail64, you have to go due to something in the morning? Yeah, no worries. Thanks for dropping by. The network bug for the Wii U was the reason you were never able to go onto Course World. Okay. Yeah, I did manage to fix that, I think, just by resetting my network and, you know, getting all the IP addresses reassigned from scratch. But well, and right now the Wii U is the only thing that's on my 2 gig band, right? Because it's the only device that's using 2.4 gigahertz, which luckily isn't being killed by any microwave ovens in the vicinity. I kind of like that spike drop there. That's neat. Oh, and here's a spike tower. Let's actually fight these guys, maybe. Have a bit of a duel. I was wondering about that coin early on in the first zone as well. Oh, okay. This is totally a snowball fight. I guess we have to go up a slot. Go up one spot here. No. We wait for the shell. What is the shell even doing there? We are trapped here because we can't actually throw anything out until we... Okay, no, we just get smacked by snowballs all day until the shell completes this pattern, so... It's kind of like a bit of a cutscene boss, basically. Which is sort of cute. Of course we're going for this because... no, we don't actually have the left side block. It's calculated. We also don't have a fire flower. I suppose this is a bonus spot for anybody who has obtained and kept a fire flower up to this point. I was, of course, playing in a very sloppy fashion, and so that's not going to go, and neither is this thing up here. You know what? We can respawn through the pipe and try that again if we want to go through this to make an attempt at the coin on the top left. And I feel like we can if we just... There we go. One up. Right there. Thought we got some kind of bonus here. Look at that trampoline on the right side. Didn't get any kind of positioning that would have taken me over, but oh, I see. That's just there to trap you at the end. And CB Battle, welcome. World record. Thank you for that, King Brock. Good preparation for the eventual onset of winter. And yeah, we'll just go straight down for now. Dark Kubatrol. Thank you for the GGs as always. Let me just make sure I'm reading the 5s and S's accurately. Pick Ludwig Factory of Doom. Let's do that. Ludwig trapped Yoshi for revenge, killing them off in his factory. Will it end? Yeah, it took me a moment to read this because I could parse it in multiple ways. Either he's trapped Yoshi for revenge, and then he's killing them off, or he's trapping Yoshi for a revenge killing. I think it's the first one. But anyway, let's take a look. It's going to be an art level, apparently, with a clear condition. Flux Capacitor, thank you for warning me about that. Because you sent me something that's like super precision, right? Yeah, usually I find that clear videos don't actually help me that much with those anyway. Because I just don't know enough about a lot of the lineup tech in this game. We'll probably give it some attempts, and we'll see how well I do with it when we get to it. So, but thanks for letting me know about that in advance. I usually don't take the time to watch clear videos separately when I'm playing on stream. But I appreciate the warning. Okay. Well, eggs are being dunked all over the place. And then we do need to bop Ludwig here, so... Oh, it's a Super Kaizo level, I see. That's okay, I'll try to read it. And we'll see. If I can only make it past the first few jumps or so, it's always a bit of a learning experience, so... Perfectly willing to just give that a try on our own terms. And Yoshi celebrates, okay. Pretty straightforward Yoshi Massacre. Yeah, I mean, it's literally a Ludwig fight, but with a Yoshi massacre preceding that, so. Thank you for that. Let's see what's next. Blue Blur, you are here. You just said GG, so glad everything is working out with you swapping between accounts and whatever else it is you're doing. And Glitch, yeah, thank you for coming by, and we'll see you again later. Bowser has gotten smarter and armed. His troops get up there and stop him. Bowser's airship. Very new upload from this week. Let's take a look. Okay, it looks like Gooms are going to fire things at us everywhere. And this is the way up. Obviously, I'm going to check the right side here for anything. And there is something. Wonder if this is a bonus area for pipe? No, it's just coins. Okay. Worth looking for it anyway. Alright, let's not die to that. And let's go left. Why not? Interesting that this drops... Oh, I see. It's because it's on a mole. And we got a ceiling over here. And what do we got? Burner. Let's just wait it out for a moment to be safe. Obviously we'll do something extremely reckless here. And probably get shot in the face for our trouble. That's okay, we'll take another crack at it. This time without getting smashed up by the skewer, I hope. Would make a big difference. Whoops. That would also make a difference. Yeah, Spike is going to wander all the way over. Let's see what happened that time. That Spike had changed directions by the time we were able to get out of there. Let's get over here. Nope. I was trying to pull back there, and I pulled back far too late. You're warning me that there's one janky part. We'll deal with it when we get to it. Whoops. One thing that's quite nice about putting them on top of Rocky Wrench is that the facing direction of the cannon actually changes. As far as cannon stacking goes, I feel like that's an underused mechanic. And yeah, you can see here that Goomba inside Kuribo's shoe is also going to follow you. Okay, I can't actually see my feet here. That's okay. Flag down there. I mean, obviously we can't access that just yet, especially because we just died. But I did want to take a look at that, just to see what I can of the ending from where I was standing. Let's not make that mistake. And yeah, we'll just pass all this. We've collected a lot of those coins before as a proof of concept, so let's just continue. You know what? Kind of want to check this. Nothing, okay. Decoration. And storage. Look at that jump right in between those two. Takes some work to die like that. Okay, let's go back. Yeah, no need to take the trampoline up if we just have enough speed, of course. Then... oh, we could go under, but why would I? Other than grabbing those coins. Okay. Yeah, no reason to come down here as well. Let's continue. And yeah, time sensitive over here. Whoops, stun lock is unfortunate. Especially because Morton has absolutely no ceiling space there, so stun lock is going to be pretty much instant, and that means that I should probably not stand on top of donut blocks unless I need to kill him. Yeah, just need to stay in the air as much as I can. Then we'll switch sides until he gets bumped. Yeah, we do need to kill him. Oh. Switch sides once again when I'm able. And there we go, that's the fight. Yeah, nice fight, actually. Whoa! I tripped over the donut block that was on the left of the door. Centrixis Epic, thank you for double jump fun time. I hope I read your name correctly. One issue I do see with this fight is that it is an automatic loss if you lose the Fire Flower, I think. You can kind of get in and take a damage boost and maybe try to jump on Morton to get an instant hit. But I believe that the Fire Flower is effectively necessary, as you can see, because I won't be able to take a damage boost twice. Particularly because of things like that, so... I mean, I did do it successfully that first time. Let's try that again. Yeah, just had a bit of trouble with the door entry, of course. We'll do this, and he very conveniently stayed on this side because of a double hit on the on-off switches. And there we go. Didn't even need to switch sides this time. Alright, let's be extra careful about this. And drop. Dark Koopa Troll coming in with the Dark Koopa Troll. Hey, and look at this, THX. THXT. HT. And so on. Yeah, no, I get the idea. One thing I noticed was that the door there, you could re-enter it and then you would fall to your death. That would have been unfortunate if you were silly enough to do that for some reason. And you, Luca, the kind of side-swapping boss fight does look familiar. We had seen something just like that, I think, last week. But, of course, it is a decently common enough idea. Anyway, thank you for that, Blue Blur. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Blue Blur took inspiration from something on the stream. A certain fight from the stream. And I know Blue Blur has been playing Lucca's levels as well, so... what happened to Bowser? I mean, his troops got up there and stopped him, so I think the idea was that it was a mutiny. And Morton took over at the end of the mutiny. It's the only explanation. Yeah, because, Lucca, I'm thinking about that frog fight, right? In the, Night Castle level. Anyway. Let's mark that as a win, and let's move on. He also became Jack Black, yeah. Flux capacitor. Let's take a look at some Kaizo by the looks of it. Yeah, and if for some reason I can't clear it without a clear video, that's fine. We'll get it afterwards. I'm not going to scout a video in advance, but if you want to drop it, you can always pop it in a Discord, or if you want to drop the link, I can permit you, but I'm not going to check the link right now. We could try to look at that afterwards if I'm just not able to beat it or come close to it. But let's try to figure it out. It's 1.32%. Cannot be that bad. Unless it's only been played by super shell experts or something. Which might be the case, for all we know. So you grab the shell right away, you get on top of the blue platform, you just need to go. It looks like there is a practice store on the left side for something. Probably a later part of the level. Interesting pink coin there, okay. We'll worry about the practice room later. For now, we'll pick up the shell and notice the pink coin that is underneath the first saw blade to the right of the blue platform. Indicating to me that, well, we need to hit that with a shell, but then I don't have anything to jump on, do I? Ah, I see. Shell actually does need to hit the question block, but what about that on-off switch? Will probably need to jump. I see now why you're recommending a clear video, actually, because it does take some puzzling out in terms of the order, but in terms of what we can do with the tools that are available, I feel like it would have been possible to well, let's see. You do need to hit the on-off switch in order to jump over. I feel like there's going to be a deflection where the shell goes back and forth and then gives you some kind of shell jump. Like if you're able to pick it up and fire it again and then jump off of it. Not like that, perhaps, but yeah, I guess I haven't really thought about how to do that coin. I think maybe you do need to fire the shell, have it pick up both coins, and then pick it up again on the blue platform, and then do something with that on-off drop. No, that's not going to come anywhere close, actually. But yeah, like I said, I now understand why you said it's probably unclearable without a clear video, but we may as well just take a look at how one might go about reading this blind. Because it's kind of like an ordering puzzle. If coins are optional, by the way, then this changes things quite a bit. I don't know if coins are optional. I assume they were required. But if they are optional, then you can shell jump and just go directly over. Because I find that if the coins aren't necessary yet, like unless you do a second pass here or something, then I know how to get over. Required, okay. Well, that's okay. We'll just try to see what we can of the level anyway. Clearly, then, the shell does have to hit that block. The question, though, is this first one here, then, because I don't know how to get that one. Then. There's a key door at the end, I see. Yeah, because that is pretty much never going to hit. It's a strange placement for this coin here. Unless I'm just supposed to, like, precisely kind of clip that coin with my own jump, but... Oh, I see. Oh, I see. That's important information. That's very important information, actually. Can you offer a tip? Yeah, you're welcome to. Well, we know that there's a Koopa, like a Mecha Koopa there now. And the Mecha Koopa does change things a bit, because if you can drop the Mecha Koopa on top of the lower blue platform, maybe something can happen here. Yeah, because the idea is that... No, actually... I think you need to hit that shelf... You need to hit it from the left, or from right to left, rather. Because you need the shell to bounce back, and then... I'm just thinking about this. Grab the shell after using it. Yeah, if I can. I guess I would have to land on the shell directly then. On the deflection here. From the second jump. Yeah, I understand what you mean. That I would have to fall on top of the shell after it deflects from that block. Try to do a full jump, you're saying, okay. Because then I would get this on my way up. Yeah, and then we do a shorter bounce there. I see, I see. Yeah, no, I see it. But once again, short bounce there. Unless I bounce to the left, perhaps. And then we can reuse the shell after that. Yeah, and then I feel like it's going to be a shell jump after that that would then have a deflection. I'll definitely need a shell jump to get over the muncher, I think. No, let's change the timing. I did figure out this timing already, so let's try it. Because it might be something like that, right? Like, that you fire... You might have to fire the one-way panels to the left, though, just to do that properly, but... Next trick is a reverse reclaim, okay. I have to say, I have enough trouble just executing a single reclaim that I don't necessarily trust that I'll be able to do that. But I think I can visualize how it's supposed to look. Let's do this properly. Yeah, because I guess the idea is that I would need to up throw to the on-off switch, and you can see from the spacing there that I would be able to do a left side throw after that. And then that would probably, if I aim it correctly, go down and hit the question block while I've had room to go back over. Yeah, because I'd up throw in the on-off switch, pick up the shell again, and throw it to the left. That's how I'm reading it. With slightly better spacing than that. Because when I deflect the shell to the left, then I would be able to position myself a little further to the right there to then shell jump over while letting the shell just kind of rebound down there. Yeah, usually I'm not somebody who, you know, is constantly begging for more indicators or whatever. I find that this level definitely could have used some before certain things that would be really difficult to figure out on your own, particularly the fact that something like the Mecha Koopa is completely buried. Like, that kind of thing would need some kind of external signifying information like a throw marker. I find that a lot of people do kind of go overboard with markers, and I totally understand with Kaizo why they would do that, because some Kaizo setups, like spawning the Mecha Koopa here, do seem to require it. But drop the shell while you're in the second tile of the one-way. Yeah, just give me one moment here. I'm going to adjust something with my controls. And also take a sip of my drink quickly before we continue. Okay. Drop the shell while you're in the second tile of the one-way. Yeah, because you need to do a drop in order to do the reclaim, right? Rather than the throw. to get this sort of one-up trick style bounce. We need to pick up the shell, of course. Oh, I see that I'm supposed to hit the on-off switch myself, not with the up throw. I understand that now. That we pass the one-way panels and then drop to the left. If I understand you correctly, because I'm supposed to bounce off of that and then hit the on-off switch, and then probably catch the shell again on the way back down, if I understand that sequence correctly. Yeah, we'll try to do it. I mean, on a good day, even with indicators, I'm not really a skilled Kaizo player, so we'll try to make something happen here and at least try to make it to coin 2. Nope. Shaving that jump a little bit too close. Drop to the right, but hit full send. Huh. Drop to the right. Wait 1 second. Let's clean up the early bit first. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure I understand a method for it. Like I said, like I have trouble with reclaims to begin with, so good way to practice, of course. The shell has no hitbox for half a second. Huh. Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah. I probably could have hit the on-off there. If I do that, then... Yeah, no, because the mecha actually gives me enough height to get up to the on-off switch directly. So I just drop right before I hit the on-off switch, right? If I understand that, whoops, correctly. I need to do a cleaner release, of course. Yeah, because as you can see, my drop is actually going to be able to outpace a shell and catch it on the way back down if I... whoops, nope. Understand that correctly. Yeah, the only information here so far that feels truly invisible is the Mecha Koopa placement. Like, it's not obvious to me at all, but... Oh, I guess, like, some players, when they see the pink coin in that location, they would assume they should fire at a block underneath rather than firing at the coin directly, I guess, because firing at the coin directly definitely won't get you anything. So, yeah, I guess some experienced Kaizo players probably could figure it out. That's what's going on there. It was just not obvious to me. That's almost it. That's almost the right idea, I think. Not quite. Still need the full jump off of the mecha. Nope. Too much adjustment going into the mecha. That's the issue we're running into. That's okay. We'll do this incrementally. And that's going to spawn another mecha. Okay, that's important too. And that's partly why you're signifying that everything is required, I guess. I feel like I should be able to get enough height to do that, but we'll see. And yeah, Dark Cube Patrol, thank you for all the Fs. That's definitely the grade that we're getting here. I think, yeah, as I drop the shell, I should be getting a bit of an extra boost from it, right? Or because of the reclaim tech. Nope. And so I'm just missing it. That's all that's happening here. Like, there's a particular point in my falling arc when I would be able to bop the shell and do that. Timing for reclaim is not as strict as a typical shell drop. Okay. Wait, hang on. Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned this, because there's another level that has been kind of on the stream on and off for the longest time, where I have also not passed it because I haven't figured out the reclaim timing. And every now and then I bring it back and, you know, work on that level and poke away at it for a bit, and it's still reclaim that gets me on that one too, so it's going to be a fairly major breakthrough if I do get it down reliably. Whoops. As long as you hit the shell, you'll get a boost, yeah. Yeah, it's a timing thing in terms of where I am in terms of my own arc at that point, right? Whoops. Yeah, taking too long there and going too low towards the mecha. That's totally the issue. Not like that. We need to throw that shell, obviously. And you're saying... Yeah, I'm going late, actually. You're saying it's the second tile of the one-way panel? I misunderstood what you meant by that up to this point. I think you meant probably the second column of the 2 columns that are covered by the one-ways, right? Yeah, I misunderstood that. That's why I've been going late every time. And maybe that will fix things up a bit, so... I'm dropping the shell a bit early. Okay, okay. Now it's going early. Yeah, because I felt like I was going late earlier, but now I'm clearly going early. So just need to figure that out. Yeah, because it also needs to be far enough over that the shell is going to drop successfully down to, or towards the lower blue platform, right? Yeah, I see that it is way too low right now. Yeah, Natcat, I couldn't think of a clever title going into the stream, so I thought, okay, we'll just throw something in there for people who are really into existentialist French literature. But regardless, welcome, Natcat. Anyway, let's clean up the first bit. I think I can get the first bit down somewhat reliably at least, but... nope, that was just a poor release. I didn't manage to hit down on a D-pad quickly enough. So... need to... get that technique down. Yeah, I don't have a good intuitive sense of what the timing window should be on the reclaim. That's the issue. And that's just from lack of practice, mostly. Lack of experience. With that kind of Kaizo tech. And Meng, thank you for the submission. Way too early. Way too early. Just dropping that thing right into the pit. I think that's probably still too early as well. Yeah, because don't I need to be kind of heading down towards the shell at that point? Yeah, we'll see, we'll see. I'm definitely going too early now. Oh, almost. I think. I didn't hit the shell, I did do the regrab there. And I kind of get a sense that the regrab after the on-off hit is maybe what's supposed to happen. But... we'll see. The reverse reclaim is the hardest trick in the level. Yeah, I can see that... You know, with someone having done this with a 1% clear rate, that... I mean, clearly they knew what they were doing. And... everything else is just a matter of reading the level. Flux capacitor, if I can't get too far in this attempt, what I'll do is I'll check the practice store so I can maybe play around a little bit with the second half. And then this might be one where I may in fact want to watch the video afterwards and to clear up at least the part that I'm doing, and then maybe return to it at a later session. But obviously the thing that's the sticking point right now is finding the reclaim timing, which I just don't really know. And I find that even with anything like drop markings and such, that I don't tend to read them very precisely. Because things like the track markers take up so much space that I find that makers are sometimes inconsistent with each other in terms of what they mean for things like drop timing, or drop spacing, rather. So, we'll give this a few more minutes, maybe. Like, the early bit here has been really satisfying to execute, just as one little element by itself. Let's take a look at the practice store. It looks like it's a similar idea, that you need to throw into the pokey and then stomp on the shell again. Very much like the second... very much like the first segment, rather. You jump immediately. You probably need to just throw immediately before you even get off the donut block, to be honest. Like that. And then shell jump. And then... well, let's go back and do that. I'm just trying to figure out how the landing on that next shell is going to go. In terms of that next pickup. Whoops. Let's go back and try that, because given that we're not doing a reverse reclaim there, well, maybe even be able to figure this out quickly, as long as I don't dunk the shell too late like that. And yeah, you're given a shell with a Koopa inside it right away, which means that you do kind of need to hit it on the left on your way to picking up the shell again, just to spit out the Koopa inside. And then I did get that shell jump previously. I'm looking at the next shell, and I'm not exactly sure how that pickup is going to go because of the fact that the shell is just exposed and not on top of a mole or anything. Oh, I wanted to do the practice segment, obviously. Let's go back and do that. Just wanted to see a few more jumps. And see more of what this level is all about. I hit the Koopa the wrong way, obviously. Yeah, that's another thing that's not necessarily obvious. But also just easy to learn once you have seen it, so. Your internet went PowerPoint mode for a minute. I hope it's not on my end. I don't see dropped frames on my side, so. I think my network should be fine. There was a stream a few weeks ago when my network was definitely not fine and it was glitching all over the place, but that was on a different network entirely, though, so. We seem to have things like that fixed up. We do need to hit the Koopa to the right. Nope, Koopa to the right. I still don't quite understand how the Buzzy Beetle landing is going to work after that. Nope, whoops. That was an accidental release. Yeah, I still don't understand the Buzzy Beetle. I feel like the trampoline with the pink coin there is supposed to save me. That maybe it's also using the reclaim bounce. Yeah, it looked like the reclaim rebound because it looked like the same kind of rebound as something like the original 1-up trick, which is what the reclaim physics are based on. Despite the fact that the reclaim physics has such a precedent in the Mario series, I don't have a good intuitive sense of how they work at all, so. We should, of course, get the shell jump timing correct as well. I got it on the first try, remarkably. So the idea, I think, is that I should hit the Buzzy Shell from the on the right side, right? Because then that way it bounces towards the wall, and then I would be able to rebound off of it. I think. Like, I should be landing on it from the right, if I understand it correctly. Nope, still not getting the shell jump clean up. I wonder why. I think I'm a bit distracted by the muncher on top of the column, and I'm aiming too low with a shell jump the whole way. That's too close. Too close. I got it just fine the first time. It's okay. I haven't been doing shell levels in a long time, so I'm just out of practice with reading even a lot of the simpler spacing. But I do want to push at the post-practice door segment just a little bit, just so we can see a little bit more of the level. Yeah, because once we understand how to do things like the reclaims, I can see this one being a pretty satisfying one to work out. Whoops. But we'll just give this a few more attempts and we'll move on. I mean, I've been fine spending a bit more time on this one because we've blasted through a ton of the queue, so... Nope. Netcat for Team Shell, not anytime soon, I'm afraid. Yeah, in terms of things that actually have a Team Shell difficulty rating, I think I've only done levels up to 2 or 3 or something. 2.5 or something to that effect. So definitely not a Shell expert here, but... It's been a matter of learning on the job, I think, when it comes to doing some of the Kaizo stuff on stream. And it's been an instructive experience. I mean, I find that with the Kaizo makers who come in, that you kind of learn things from them in terms of reading the setups and the tech and making the right adjustments. I've become a better Shells player because of that, despite the display that we're currently putting on here. Yeah. I mean, like I said, a number of the interactions in this level are kind of hidden on the first pass, but once you know what they actually are pretty satisfying to work with. With both the mechas and this Koopa that you're docking here. I feel like I do need to let go of the grab button at this point. 3.5 in Team Shell and 1 in Team Pipe. Interesting. Well, Team Pipe, I guess, really knows their pipes. .5 in Team Shell. Yeah, that's why this would be on the higher end of... Ah, okay. So yes, you do let go of the grab button and then you land on the right side, and then I should be able to get that bounce. Okay, that was satisfying because that was actual progress, even though I didn't get out of that accurately. Yeah, that's part of the issue, is that I don't have a good muscle memory of how in a shell level you decide to hold or not hold either the jump button or the grab button. So for the longest time, one of the biggest challenges I had with playing shell levels was just not being in the habit of releasing while holding a full jump, for instance. And the reverse is true as well for knowing when to let up on the grab for things like the grounded reclaim that we see here. But that was definitely the trick, that you fall into it and you need to make sure you don't pick up. Sometimes a second reclaim voice gives you a higher boost. Oh, the reclaim bounce, I see. I understand that. And yeah, spring momentum does things in this game. Well, let's give the starting segment one more try, just to, well, one more proper try to just try to give that a go. Because one thing that I'm realizing now is maybe one of the things I need to fix with the reclaim timing is what I'm doing with the grab button. the Y button, as it were. Well, we need to do a soft drop into that, too. Because there were a couple of attempts earlier when I was regrabbing the shell right away. And that was probably close to the correct timing, but because I was coming into the shell from the side and had the grab button repressed already, I guess maybe that prevented me from getting the bounce that I needed. No, not quite. That's okay. We will bail for now. Only 20 seconds, so we actually... I think if I fixed up doing the reclaims, I think we could eventually crack this a little bit. It is, I think, all within one zone, given that it is 20 seconds. And of course, given that the practice door is just a door that takes you over to the second half, I can kind of see what's going on with the layout here. So in terms of where the pokey drop is happening for the second half, right in the middle. I feel like this eventually would be approachable for me, in fact, if I spend a bit more time with it. So maybe at some point if we do a catch-up stream for unfinished viewer levels, which I do from time to time. But thank you for that, Flux. I found it a bit of a learning experience, but that's very welcome, so. The rest of the level I haven't played is just bomb spinning, yeah, so it's just these technical checks that we need to get over. We'll mark that as lost for now, and that's going to be fine. And yeah, let's just continue going down the list for now, since I think the only subs are repeats. Jurassic Yoshi, if you're present, please check in, and then we'll plug your code in. I'll just give you a moment to check in. I don't see Jurassic Yoshi listed anymore in the chat, so this might be a ditch. If so, the next one up will be Roby Angel, who I do see in the chat. And Roby Angel will pull yours up instead. Yeah, we're fairly flexible on this stream about accommodating people who might just be lurking or AFK. But, yeah, we'll just proceed for now. Toad Palace, puzzle solving, 50% clear rate, 52, I guess. Toads used to live here, but because of hazards in the area, now it's deserted. Let's take a look. Okay, mushroom right away. This looks like it's eventually going to be broken by something. And it's a pyramid. E for pyramid. I feel like there's going to be spike balls that smash up this place eventually, unless this is just decorative, which might be the case. Looks like there will be P-switches and releasing pipes too, of course, but no, we can just bump the shell, and it's going to do all the work for me. We can also follow the shell over just to... Oh, whoops. See if it breaks the other side over here as well. Oh, I need to... No, I needed to stop that and deflect it over to the right. We should be able to respawn it, so... Just needed to stay ahead of the shell, I think, and bounce it back. I mean, or just walk the Buzzy over, but... Probably not going to actually do that. Probably do need to do that. Whoops. Come on. No, too late. Okay. We can walk the Buzzy over, but let's try to find a more efficient way of doing this. Like overshoot it. Nope, hang on. Same problem here, actually, because I'm big. If I'm small, then I get to run over the top layer and race it over. Well, there is a slow way of doing this. So, I mean, we can also use the damage boost to just run over. We can also just deflect a shell. Should have thought of that to begin with. And Shell's going to follow me over these sand dunes over here. And then that might give me a P-switch. P-switch will give me the P-door. And we checked the other pipes earlier and broken those, so we know P-switch won't be affecting this. Looks like it is a Toad Palace with all these ancient Toad people decorations on the walls. This is going to be an SMB2 mushroom gate. We know that because of the clouds. Nowhere to go but down. Yeah, Donut Block just gets you in and out. P-switch will get you over each of these platforms. And also release all of these bricks, which will hopefully not be relevant to anything too soon. Oh, I guess we needed to go around this turnaround here and then go up to the top level. Yeah, I see. Yeah, and then we bounce around. So let's wait for the next P-switch. I know how to do this. I just hadn't read the top section yet, in terms of being able to see this. Checkpoint over here, SMB2 is going to get me out the gate that we saw earlier. And we can take the POW within this room, of course. And that's just a gate check for the SMB2 mushroom. No reason to go back there for now, so let's just continue. Oh, looks like this is something else to do with a P-switch potentially, or something else that will break it eventually. Oh, it's a P-switch, okay. I do see that we can probably do this and then do the SMB2 high jump up here. And then, still on that P-switch, that's fine. Yeah, that was the upper part of the area we'd seen earlier. Obviously, we're going to check this. And that is going to be victory. What does it say? Oh, it's just Roby's signature. There we go. And yeah, Dark Cube Patrol, we, of course, in 6YMM had played a Sonic tribute level that had those sideways trampolines just bouncing you back and forth, so I had a bit of practice going into this for those jumping segments, but yeah, quite nice. I find that in this game, because of everybody using all of the scroll locking tech and boxing up a lot of rooms and such, we don't often see things like the Buzzy Beetle in the opening, where you do need to figure out the shell escort across that long section, because a lot of people don't really build things that are that wide a layout anymore. But worked out very well, I think, for the pyramid exterior. Thank you for that. Okay, time for more P-Balloon. And yeah, the decorations were quite nice in that one too, especially with the toads on the walls of the pyramid. Blended very well. Anyway, this is going to be Prevailing Winds also from this week, and it is going to be the hard mode version of Nugukaza's up and down only concept, so we'll need to boost very carefully. Now that we've done the trainer level to understand the basic concept. So yeah, wind is going to align me to the left initially, and then you're going to have a very clear signal. Don't press left and right. And then this also gives me the length of the win. Let's grab the checkpoint. That seems important. Oh, wait. Coins to the left. Oh, let's see. That's a hub section. Actually, everything here is a hub section. Okay, because it's a hub, we don't need to worry too much about a wind blowing us. Let's just grab the 30 coins and go. Yeah, I need to boost around that guy. Anyway, going to get our faces stuffed in there. No, we still need a P-balloon, so maybe I'm just dead. Hence the blocks here. Okay. And, yeah, it's designated as the spike top room, so there's a bit of a visual aid for that one. Not all of them, as you can see, but that one for sure. Yeah, you can kind of go around this spike top, but you have to tap really carefully, I think. Probably can't boost for this one. You do have to tap bit by bit. Oh, and Netcat, I totally forgot that you have a sub-privilege as well. We'll try to get you in fairly soon then. But CB Battle will be next after this one, I think. Then we'll see how we go from there. Yeah, I was holding off on the sub next this stream just because we just had repeats for a while. Just so you're clear on what's going on. Whoops. Okay, fine. We're trapped here. We'll roll with it. Yeah, no, I needed to hit the on-off switch with the boost as I passed that location. That's okay. We're not going to do that one yet. Let's see. And yeah, CB Battle, we were shown the easy version of this mechanic much earlier. But Nugukaza makes P-balloon levels for every conceivable range of expertise. But yeah, you have to know your P-balloon boosting pretty well to do something like this, for sure. And Centrix is epic? Yeah, if you... Oh, you're saying goodbye to Flux Capacitor. Yeah, see you around Flux Capacitor. Thank you for showing us the shell level earlier. Mr. Influential, thank you for sending me Bean Burrito line at the DMV. And we'll see what the latest developments are in the Bean Burrito meta. And here we go. No, we're still... Yeah, we need to let the spike top go around the corner, and then I need to do a boost to get up past that tile. It is a tricky location here. Adam, welcome. Thank you for Ghost Chaser. Yeah, well, I mean, we did to take to death here, but let's do that quickly. Okay, so, yeah, no, we don't need to boost. I need to go up partly. I need to basically count the number of taps I'm doing with the D-pad. Because we're only going up and down, I should be able to just count and adjust accordingly until we understand. Like, do 2 taps, for instance? 2 taps, or... That's not quite enough. But that way, at least we have a reliable thing to work on and improve as we go around each segment. We'll eventually need to mix some boosts into there as well. But I feel like the single taps on the D-pad are going to work out pretty well. So I'm kind of doing 2 and 3, or 3 and 2 there to get past the first spiny, or the first spike top rather. And I think we can actually improve at this with time. Yeah, as you can see, we just need to tap gently. There's no need to boost in here. You will not need that, I think, until the vertical column at the very end. And you should be able to get to the vertical column with a convenient timing because of all the spacing here with respect to the wind. So yeah, sudden burst of progress, as you can see. Like, we just need to understand the tapping rhythm to get past that central diagonal. So this initially looked really intimidating. I mean, it is still kind of intimidating, but we are improving at it. Nope, not quite. That corner is giving me a little bit of grief here. Yeah, obviously we're not going to just get the full clear and level into sitting, but it would be nice if we pass at least one room, so we'll just try to learn it a bit at a time and see what we can do. Yeah, a little bit slow here. Dark Cube Patrol, radio voice makes you feel safe, even if you're surrounded by all these spikes. Well, glad to hear it. Okay. Not quite. Now let's go up. And... no. Is there a purpose to hitting the block? It kind of lines you up, I guess, if you are doing a turn, if you're facing downwards at a moment. I'm just wondering if I want to hit the turn block, or if it's okay to stop before that. I'm not clear on that just yet. Whoops. Let's take the death. But yeah, we're able to round the first bend, and I'm having a bit of trouble with the adjustment after that. Even though it's the same kind of diagonal that we're dealing with. Yeah, maybe it's something that just allows you to adjust. Oh, whoops, I think I accidentally tapped right. Like I accidentally tapped a diagonal when I was doing the turnaround at the very end. We got pretty far that time, though. Did very well, in fact. Nope, that did not go well. Yeah, 2 taps at the opening, that's what it is. 2 taps at the opening positions me pretty well to get past the spike top. So, noticeably improving at this, which is nice. Nope, still having a little bit of trouble turning that corner. Yeah, the horizontal pacing is always going to be the same if you actually follow the mechanic of this level for the precision lineup, so... Let's get back in there and see what we can do. Nope. A little bit too aggressive in that corner. Yeah, past the initial corner or so in the bottom right. I'm no longer actually counting taps, I'm just trying to maintain a consistent angle. I do that first wind push like you did. I mean, how else would you do it? I mean, I'm sure you can answer that because the P-Balloon you know quite a lot about in terms of what range of flexibility it has. But yeah, trying to prepare that diagonal, I think, is much more helpful. And then past this point here, because of the angle is sharpening up at the end, you do need to hold a bit, or perhaps even risk a bit of a boost. Micro boosts or up and micro boosts, yeah. I don't know, I'm not that precise, as you can tell. There we go. Then you prepare this. And then there we go. Oh, didn't expect that. Didn't expect that much, actually. We've still got a lot to go. Maybe this is the last corner before we exit, but... yeah, I guess maybe the yellow turn block is just there for safety, for people who are just boosting all the way up. Hey, we got quite far. Nothing to be ashamed of. Whoops. But thank you for all of the Fs, regardless. It's for the blind vertical movement. I see, yeah. Nice PB. I love how that can refer to the personal best as well as the P-Balloon. I'm sure that's occurred to you many times before. The PB on the PB. Dark Coup Patrol, all of those Fs make me think of something very specific. So, a little while ago I was shown this one level that is still up and which has a ton of plays because it went viral. Maybe. A while back, early on in this game. And it was a level that was called A Memorial to My Wife Samantha, because it was actually made by somebody who had lost his young wife who had died for some reason in her late 20s. And it's actually a real person. Like, there's some evidence to corroborate that this was a real-life thing, that somebody's wife had died, and as part of his process of grief, he made a level in her memory. And it was a really popular level, and it kind of blew up, and also had a high clear rate, and so I think it must have been something at least decently playable. But the comments were full of like kids saying stuff like F. And some other hilarious things. Like, I'll have to dig up the code sometime if you're curious, because I looked at that just out of interest when I was told about this level, and yeah, some of the it has, I think, one of the more interesting comment sections that you will find in Mario Maker. Natcat, you actually remember playing that? Okay, yeah, Natcat's played everything though, so that's not surprising. Only 4 Fs for that one, as opposed to the 6 Fs earlier. I suppose it is progress dependent. Yeah, you can kind of hold in certain corners here instead of just tapping, but... yeah, we'll see. I mean, you know, Nukakaza, obviously, you can resubmit it as much as you'd like so we can see different sections. Today, I think I'll probably only be working on this section here. We can dip into the other rooms briefly to see them if I'm about to bail. And then at least we'll know what's going on, but this will be the only one that I really push on in this sitting, I think. And we made it fairly decently far, so... just some tighter corners later that I will almost certainly need to boost through. Whoops, too slow there. Down. Very efficient turnaround there. Very efficient turnaround there, too. Nope. Yeah, I just couldn't get the turn here. That's going to be tricky because you need to turn upside down quickly, and as the wind is blowing you, basically reverse direction. Yeah, a little bit of a boost around that corner is going to help. Oh, nope. I must have accidentally tapped a diagonal somewhere in that sequence. Yeah, I think I did accidentally tap a diagonal and hit right at some point. Even on my good D-pad. Oops. Hey, pretty decent personal best, though, in terms of finally doing that top corner. You saw a boost while turning down. Oh, okay, no. I see what you mean. That's if I'm at a diagonal and I'm boosting, then that would throw me out of position. I hadn't thought about that, even though it's pretty obvious that that would happen. But no, I know what you're talking about. It's that's a turnaround that I was thinking, okay, I have to boost in order to survive the spacing there. I wasn't thinking about the fact that I do need to be pointed straight up or down if I'm using the boost at all, otherwise we get positionally offset. Okay. Nope. I think I'm going to take a peek at the other rooms quickly. We'll just bail on this for now, but we'll at least see a quick preview of what the other rooms are about. And not going to practice them or anything, we'll just... whoops. Okay, this is actually just a boost room. Yeah, this is going to involve the boost, and you do need to tap the boost fairly well. We'll try that one more time at least, so I understand what's going on. Okay. Ooh, okay, tough corners all over the place. That's okay, we now know what that's all about. Let's take a look at some of the other rooms. Oh, except one-way panel here. Yeah, we'll just go through the pipe to the other hub. Dark Coup Patrol, Nugukaza is exceptionally experienced with the P-Balloon, and so I don't know how long the clear check took, but it's probably not as long as you would imagine. Especially considering how many P-Balloon precision levels Nugukaza has published in the past. So let's take a look at that one just one more time. We're just going to do a quick tour here. Okay, this is a cannonball dodging room then. And the coin positioning allows you to do that. Yeah, I see. That you do need to kind of stay within the middle column, but then you can go up and down a little bit in order to dodge the spikes. You have to go up and down a little bit to dodge the spikes unless you're perfectly aligned, which I will not be. And you should still have enough room to just barely dodge the cannonballs when you do that. This is going to be, once again, another tap up and down, except on some tight corners with these grinder hitboxes. Let's just take a look at this room and then we'll bail. After the final edit, about 2 hours, but you had tons of practicing while editing. Yes, exactly. Okay, this is going to be fire bars. So yeah, it's about understanding the P-Balloon hitbox with a lot of these different obstacles, as well as a lot of the different diagonal angles. And I'm quite satisfied with the one that we practiced. I mean, all of them look pretty hard, of course. Love the thumbnail as well, by the way. in terms of just giving you what the valid controls are going to be. Micro boosting is a valuable skill here too, yeah. I mean, there's a lot in the P-Balloon skill set that, as you know, I've just been trying to pick up on the fly, so. Okay, CB Battle. You are still here, please check in. I believe you are in the chat, and yes, you are here, so let's plug this in. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue going down next until we hit Coup Patrol, because then we exhaust the repeats, and then I will do sub next after that to pull in Nat Cat, probably. But we'll see how the queue is going. I usually close queue around the 2-hour mark in a stream, so that's relatively soon. Goomba's Kingdom Ruins. Light Kaizo, you have 30 seconds to make your way into Goomba's Kingdom Ruins. And timing looks really flexible if you take a look at a world record, beating that timer by 8 seconds. So we should have some leeway, especially with a 5% clear rate currently. And yeah, no need to be terribly precise. Oh, you even have time to grab the 30 coin. Maybe. We'll see how far off I am. Yeah, just didn't angle that very well. That's fine. That's easy to fix, I think. As a proof of concept, I want to grab the 30 coin just to see how close we are to timing. If we do that. Going to have a Goom split there. No, we do need a higher jump, obviously, for the split. At the 11-second mark. Let's not try to shave too many corners. Oh, forgot the 30 coin. That's okay. We'll go back for it just to try to prove that it's going to be squeezing under the timer. Mario 64 slide music here is very appropriate for the occasion. Full jump here. Whoops. Yeah, still shaving that one a little too tightly. I should have a fuller jump off the Goom split as well. And just going to fix up my angle over there. Okay. Up we go. Yeah, pretty easy to hit. I mean, I think you probably don't even need most of the indicators over the things that are the single Goombas, but then for the sake of consistency, I can see why you would put everything in just to hit the P blocks all the way. So yeah, grab the 30 coin with plenty of time to spare. Thank you for that. CB Battle. Start Coup Patrol. Let's take a look once again. Whoops. HDG. Totally missed that. Oh no, I missed it. I deleted the wrong character. DHDG. There we go. Goodbye, Yoshi. Super Beast GN this level for you. I hope Super Beast GN enjoyed it, as advertised. Very popular for another art level that seems to involve killing tons of Yoshis. I assume that we Had a bit of mental preparation for this one with the other boiled egg fest earlier. Once again, Kerberos with the records all over the place. Okay, this is a Yoshi killing level. We understand that immediately. What an artifact of the collective memory when it comes to Super Mario World. That, you know, whether you communicated with each other or not about it, everybody who played Super Mario World and discovered the Cheese Bridge secret would just... How is there only a 16% clear rate on this? Anyway, but everybody would just know the Yoshi killing method of getting across gaps, and to the point that it's just one of the most popular tropes in all of Mario Maker, and has been since Mario Maker 1. Yeah, sure, let's speedrun it. We were so quick with it that we can try to squeeze the time. I doubt I'll beat Kerberos' time here, but we can try to optimize this a bit. Yeah, maybe we do need to get a bit more of a jump. Oh, I see, that's how they died, yeah. I'll try to do this a bit more efficiently just to see how much time we can shave. Probably not much given how sloppy I'm being, but... Okay. Whoops. Yeah, a little bit low there. That's a lot of arrows along the way. Whoops. But I guess the arrows give you a little room to read ahead and understand that there's no landing zone below them. That if you're fairly high up in a level above the lava, then the arrows are helpful, like when the lava is off camera, for telling you that it is not yet safe to land, so I can see what the arrow spam is for, as a way of signifying lava below. Yeah, that's not close at all. That's like 24 seconds or something. 23 something. But you can see how many corners were left to cut there. Anyway, thank you for that. Natcat, let's bring you up with sub next, so we can finally cash that in for you. After far too much of a delay, and then we will go straight down the list after that. Speedrun lowers the clear rate. Yes, exactly. Well, glad people have been trying. Okay, this is going to be Cling Climb. And I am going to pull out the translation engine. Unless anybody here actually reads Japanese. Let's see what the machine translation says. Operation tips. 1. Jump from the top of the vine. 2. Mario... something about flying in the direction you're facing. 3. Press and hold the jump to the next vine. It's got lots of vines. I am going to forget the instructions immediately after I enter the level, so... Oh, I see the setup here in the thumbnail, that it's just telling you how to use a bounce where you can... because it's SMB1, your facing direction is going to affect which way you bounce when you jump directly up into the spring. We know that very recently, in fact, because of the Jackson level, I think, in 5YMM, which used the same mechanic with climbing up on either side. So let's take a look at this. Look at Kaito with world records everywhere, as usual. And Eggus Cook, welcome. Yeah, so right side, very familiar to us now. And straight up we go. I mean, that's a Fairly simple section, and then auto scroll is going to enforce some timing. The boos are also going to make sure you do this a certain way. Oh, I see. Okay, okay. I didn't understand what was going on with the spike ball. No, because I saw the ice blocks there and thinking, like, surely there's no way I'm going to hit that with a fire flower. And I was right. Surely there was no way I was going to hit that with a fire flower, so... Good call there, apparently. Accidentally. Anyway, it means that we can buy some time here. There's really no hurry. Notice the side swap as you head into each succeeding vine. I like how the boos actually are decently visible there as you scroll up towards them. Looks like this is going to be another spike ball drop followed by full jump over here. Whoops. We wait for the icicles to fall first. I think it's time to expect us to wait for the icicles before we do anything. Melon Run, welcome. Hope you are also doing well. And yeah, queue's not going to be open for much longer. We'll likely be closing shortly after this level, so anyone who wants to send me more, please keep that in mind. Last call will be soon. Now let's wait for the drop. Wait for the icicles, and then icicles once again. And Mr. Influential... Yeah, there's also a replace command that's totally undocumented in Warp World if you want to change your code. But we can also do that informally. Like, if you ever change your mind about which level you want to send me, we can always discuss it when you are called up. If for some reason you want to send me something other than the Bean Burrito DMV level. Nope. Bad timing there, just getting dunked by spike balls all over the place. And then that's the end of the spike balls. Yeah, the spike balls are just placed in the middle of nowhere, and then the scroll boundary, as they get loaded in, drops them with a certain timing. Why is this green? That's why it's green. Oh, I like that, actually, because it's 1-up mushrooms that have overgrown. Sorry, regular super mushrooms that have overgrown, and a 1-up mushroom that is totally overgrown. So it's kind of like you're plucking a 1-up mushroom from the green mushroom tree, which is nice. And the spike balls remind you of a DKC 3 level. I'm trying to think of what that might be. I have very little memory of DKC 3, that's the thing. I don't know it well compared to the rest of the series. Okay, nice over here, even though it totally cuts off the artwork of the vines, which is usually what happens when the bottom block gets shaved off. Here, we just run around and make our way upstairs. Aha, vine climb. Okay, great. And yeah, fairly relaxed experience, this one. No real alternate paths to consider here, so we'll just watch the burner timings. Thank you for the follow. Then I have a double bounce over here. Yeah, pretty well timed for a relaxing experience over the auto scrolls. Let's check the 1-up logic here again. No? Yes. You see? I like how this level kind of teaches you its internal logic for 1-ups as you go along. And that this one matches the fire flower. That's a nice touch. And here we go. And, oh, how did I miss that? Whoops. And yeah, Mr. Influential just wanted to check your Q position. Yeah. Yeah, there are a bunch of commands that would reveal that position and list and whatever else, but you know, that works too. However you want to do it. Whoops. Oh, I see. I'm accidentally dropping off there. Okay. This is fine. Bounce is set up in such a way that you never need to hold right or left as the direction you just do to bounce. Oh, missed a 50 coin. We got sniped by Boom Boom at the end. I saw the star in the 1-up and I just didn't even think about what the third element would be because Boom Boom was off screen, so we got boomed. Boom Boom goes to dynamite. Yeah, so I'm just holding up here. I'm not holding right at all. I'm not even tapping right. All of the spacing works just fine with the full jumps. It's tuned to be pretty easy. And we're big, so if I wanted to cut through Boom Boom, I could do so. But we won't. Clear. Very clear. Yeah, Natcat brings tons of international recommendations to this stream. And Melon Runner Gilmore, of course, you'd love the vertical section, just given how many DKC-style vertical sections you built yourself. This one was quite nice, though, for sure. Good visibility, actually, even though I got sniped by the falling spike balls a couple of times due to my own bad timing. Let me just assess the current situation here in the queue. Yeah, so this is going to be last call. I'm going to bring in the next code, and at that point, I will be closing the queue. So, Centrixis if you are still here. Just going to check the chat list and give you a moment to check in. Otherwise, we'll move on to your Yogurt Hose or Meng. I think Centrixis Epic might have ditched, so we will be able to shave one off the queue. Okay, Meng. If you are also here, and haven't just decided to hop off, you want me to skip you? Are you serious about wanting me to skip you? Like, are you watching your own level on another stream or something? If you're serious about wanting me to skip you, that's fine. We can move on to Mr. Influential, but I don't always know if Meng is serious. So do confirm. Because then we can bring in Mr. Influential next, if you'd prefer to be held back. I guess it might be the first time. Sorry, I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to. But that's okay. We'll do Mr. Influential first on the assumption that Meng might have me muted right now and just saw a ping or something if Meng is also watching another stream. So let's go next then, and we'll just rotate you back one spot. So, Mr. Influential, you were just here. And you are still here, so let's take a look at this bean burrito thing that you were talking about earlier. Courser maker not found. Can we check the code here? I believe I typed this in accurately. Would you like to correct it? I'll just give you a moment to let me know. You've got a backup code? Yeah, like a maker code or something in case there's been a version change. Or another level you want to show me? Yeah, that's fine. Do take a moment. It'll display incorrectly on the bot, but the thing is we'll have the video footage to look at and everything will be fine. Yeah, I'll type that code in manually. That's fine. The bot's going to display the wrong thing, and that's okay. We know what the code is here. Minecraft The Way Home by Alex the Nine. You've been kidnapped and you need to escape. There are hidden keys and areas. Okay, so we will do this one at this point. Let me just check the state of the list one more time. Yeah, at this point it makes sense to close the queue, I think, even though we might end early today. If we do end early, depending on how the rest of the levels go, sometimes I reopen for 1 or 2 at the end, but it depends on the difficulty of some of the levels, of course, and safer to close for now. Because sometimes people come in really late, and that's okay. We try to accommodate them if we have time. It's just that recently I've been running way too long on the viewer streams, like running 5-hour streams here and there, so that can't happen today. Let me just make sure everything is properly displayed as closed, including the stream title. And we'll get in on this right away. Okay, Goombas everywhere. And for those who don't know, I do plan to be back for more viewer levels during the same time slot tomorrow. Next week, however, I will not be doing viewer levels at the usual time. We will be missing it for at least 1 weekend. Because I will be playing Metroid Dread. That's the current plan, anyway. And yeah, we just need to find the right pipes here. But yeah, the regular viewer level schedule is going to continue this week. I wonder if we can actually do anything in the top right here. It doesn't look like it. There's nothing I can really swat with the cat. So it's just a matter of picking pipes. And okay, airship camera Bob, here we go. No key off this guy. No key off this guy, really? I see a POW up above. Or did we? Hang on. Let's try to do a climb here. Actually, let's try to go back. I actually can never remember if I came in through a warp block or through a pipe. Came in through a pipe, so... This is a level publicized by AlphaRad 2 years ago. Yeah, okay. Oh, I see, okay. I've had some AlphaRad levels or AlphaRad related levels sent to me before here and there. I can't say I really followed the channel myself, so a lot of this stuff is totally new to me. But that would explain its popularity, of course. I do have a vague idea of just how big an audience there is for that. I have no idea what goes on Mario Maker YouTube these days, in fact. I'm just unable to keep up with it at the same time as keeping up with Twitch. I'm just looking at the design of this thing here. Am I inside like a salamander or an eel? Looks kind of like an eel, doesn't it? And then we just slap this guy between the eyes. You think the Bean Burrito level got deleted? Okay. Yeah, if you needed a maker code behind that, maybe you would be able to relocate a new version, but... You think they are chairs on a plane? Okay. Yeah, I guess I will trust your visual sense much more than I trust my own. Now that you mention it, I think you are correct. More cat bells, okay. Yeah, I feel like I should have been paying more attention visually to what kind of shapes we're making here. Whoops, lost a cat. Yeah, Mr. Influential, I thought it might be something like that. I know there have been a couple of levels named after Bean Burritos due to similar concepts becoming sort of a popular YouTube thing from time to time. So I thought it might be something in that style, I just didn't know what kind of setup it would be. Or what you would put me through. But that's okay, now you've described it, and it's like we've experienced 2 levels at once. What is this shape? Try to figure this out. It's like a vehicle that's on treads. Oh, this is, I think, supposed to be a train, and then you have train carriages in the train. I see. J Eagle, welcome. Yeah, J Eagle, I just closed a cube, but it's short enough that I may be able to extend at the end for people who came in late, so... Yeah, the queue is not taking submissions right now, but maybe we'll have room later. Just here to chill? Yeah, always welcome to do that as well. Just making sure you know what's going on in case you had something to send. Of course, we'll grab this. And on switch here, I don't know what that's all about. Unless it activates a P or something and drops everything, which I suspect might actually be the case. Unless we just go through the door. Okay, we'll switch it off. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going out of my way to ask for a level because we are technically closed, just so I preemptively try not to run too long today, but we'll see how it goes. Hey, Boom Boom. Being a little bit sloppy and a pretty standard Boom Boom fight, but we'll tap that. And here's the ending. Hope I didn't need that cat. Nope, doesn't seem so. Pretty gentle level all around, about a 40% clear rate, so... Yeah, so thank you for submitting that one on really short notice, Mr. Influential, when the Bean Burrito failed to come through. And yeah, J Eagle, 3D World is fantastic. Takes some getting used to if, you know, you are just used to thinking and building in the other styles, but very well worth embracing. So you sent the Bean Burrito to 5 different people yesterday, Mr. Influential. Yeah, it must have gotten deleted very recently then, if so. Anyway. We will mark that as a win and move on. Now, Mang asked to be bumped back earlier. I don't know if that's still the case.
Meng, if... well, I don't know if Meng even has my sound on, so... We'll just see if we want to do that right away. I'm just going to type a quick message in chat, in fact. Yeah, because Meng asked to be held back to later, earlier, and so we'll just wait for a check-in to come back. Otherwise, we'll just keep on going for now. Jay Eagle, you found your Elgato today, so we can expect some broadcasting from you soon then, or at least some recording. We'll do Atom next then, probably. So Atom is going to give you a moment to check in. I will need a quick moment myself. Just need to grab something and come back to my desk. So give me one moment and we will pop in Adam's code. You think I'm a radio host because I said desk? No, I've pretty much always played video games at my desk. Like, I have very rarely, I'd say within the past many years, like since the Wii, I would say. The Wii was the last time that I really played much in front of an actual television on a couch or anything. I've always kind of had a desk set up even for consoles like the Wii U and Switch, which both of which benefited substantially from just having off-screen play as well, so I didn't necessarily have to have a television monitor or display at all times. But yeah, I guess radio hosts also have desks. That's something we definitely have in common, so... And I'm glad you enjoyed a voice, said Dark Koopa Troll. People do keep asking me if I have done radio at some point. And maybe I should consider that. Maybe all of you have excellent taste. Anyway, Ghost Chaser, 30 seconds by Up and Atom. This one has a clear condition on it. Within 30 seconds, as we've seen with many of the Atom speed runs in the past, but this one will require me to carry the fallen Goombud home and make a full jump at the ice blocks. Let's see it. Reached a goal after grabbing all 69 coins. The Jay Eagle... Didn't you say you were nocturnal? This is prime time. You gotta take advantage of your cognitive abilities at their peak, I think. We were supposed to hold a Goomba at that point. I missed something. Yeah, I missed a pickup somewhere along the way. I mean, I threw the Goombud earlier, and I'm supposed to grab it again at some point, and I missed the second grab. Yeah, I've got to grab this time. I missed a jump, though, so... Okay, no, I understand what I did wrong last time. You do, of course, have to follow the coin trail to meet the 69 condition. Otherwise, things will not be so nice. I also totally missed a 10 coin up top, so I'm definitely supposed to get the 10 coin. It is all 69 coins. Can't really miss anything. Missed that 10 coin as well. We missed a lot of coins, actually. We need to rethink some of this. Yeah, Jay Eagle, unless you have morning commitments, I've never seen the sense in trying to force yourself asleep when mentally you're still wide awake. We need to do full jumps, that's the idea. I wasn't really properly doing a full jump off of that ice block, and that's why we were missing. I do eventually want to move my stream to an earlier time when I can, but that's more to be considerate of members of the audience who couldn't make it otherwise. No, I don't need to release at that point. You do have throw markers for all of the intended releases. I want to go shopping tomorrow, but you don't have to do it until like 3. Yeah, that's fine. Then you can sleep at a time that is more sensible for yourself. Nope, jumped a little bit early on that last ice block. Missed a coin. I guess you need to clean the gutters, because of leaves everywhere, just plugging everything. Anyway, all the things about seasonal home maintenance that they don't teach you in Animal Crossing. Nope, that was a mistaken jump. I mean, kind of nice to grab the shell at the end, but I'm sure that that throws off all kinds of timing. The things it's supposed to hit. Yeah, there is actually a bit of a Goomba trade as you... Whoops, need a full jump there. Where you throw one and you pick up a different one, and there's a little bit of swapping. Planning on streaming Wednesday. Yeah. Just mainly Mario Maker or some other things? Whoops. Haven't decided what to stream? Yeah. Like I was saying, I'm switching to Metroid next week. And prioritizing that for a couple days, but then we do have plans for Maker content again after that, of course. Since this has always been the main thing we do with this community here, so... But yeah, got my Wii U set up, and I'm hopefully doing some Maker 1 soon. Maybe a Mario 64 speedrun, okay. Interesting. So were you considering the Mass Effect remastered trilogy then, or just going to play it in more of its original form? Anyway, let's head down here. I missed something. I missed the on-off switch. Something's supposed to hit that. Probably the shell deflection. Ah, okay, just the OG Mass Effect. I see that. And... let's see over here. Yeah, I used to be really alert to everything that BioWare was doing. I missed the jump there. I'm supposed to jump up there and grab the Goom as it bounces back up. But yeah, I've been out of touch with BioWare stuff for a long time now. But there was a while when I was very attentive to what was going on with them. Whoops, nope. Didn't want to release there. You've never done a playthrough where you romanced a Tally, so you need to... So have you played as both Shepherds before then? Whoops. I mean, you kind of say that as though you've done a lot of playthroughs in the past. In terms of what you've seen of Mass Effect, so... Yeah, I found that having built this community so substantially around Mario Maker is nice, but at the same time it does kind of create a little bit of a deterrent to streaming other things as we go. Okay, no, I missed something. 1 coin, and yeah, because I need to toss that, but why do I need to toss that? Was it because of some kind of coin collection at the end? Let's see. You've done 3 playthroughs. Okay, let's actually watch the level. I was thinking, okay, I can run forward here, so let's just read chat for the first part of the level. That was very careless of me. Yeah, when I first started this stream, about a year and a half ago, I originally thought I would mostly be doing indie platformers, in fact. Because that's what I was catching up on at a time. Although Mario Maker was already my main game as a player at that point, I thought, okay, maybe we'll do viewer levels here and there, and then we'll just, you know, do indie games the rest of the week. And the balance of power with that just completely shifted, because, like, Mario Maker, you know, if you start connecting with good makers, you're just drowning in good content all the time. It's not just a matter of getting the viewers, too. I mean, like, obviously viewer levels always are the most popular form of content for streamers of my scale. In terms of bringing in new people and seeing level styles that you otherwise wouldn't see, but... It's also that, like... It's a very easy experience to personalize in the long term without really getting sick of it. I mean, obviously there are a lot of streamers who have totally burned out on Mario Maker, but they're people who often spend a lot of time on the kind of content in this game that would burn them out, like endless grind or multiplayer grind or things like that. Or if they've built a viewer level community that is not so kind about setting quality levels. Yeah, but I've generally been really happy with the viewer level turnout on my stream. In terms of being able to attract people who like level design and like thinking about it and doing it well. I'm missing that jump block completely with the Goomba bounce. Like, it's not even bouncing on top of it, and I wouldn't have been able to catch it even if I did make that jump at the end. Huh. Yeah, because before I ever got a capture card, before I ever started streaming, one of the main things I was doing on Twitch was submitting my own levels to other people's streams. I was making more actively back then. Since I started streaming, I've been making a lot less, because I've been playing a lot more. But yeah, the nice thing about Mario Maker is that there's so much variety to what people can specialize in, and not just as a player, but also as a streamer, like what kind of content you find valuable to do. The Goomba bounce is not cooperating there. I think maybe there's some throw that I'm not doing properly. Because it is supposed to bounce up, isn't it? And be delivered straight back into my hands as I jump off the ice block down in that lower segment. We were very close to it earlier. We got everything up until the pipe entry. Yeah, because it's not like you can really plan ahead for the Goom bounce there. You do just need to hit the marker really accurately, I think. We hit that one. And what do we got here? 68 out of 69, and that's the last coin. Excellent. Or shall we say nice. Yeah. Oh, Mang had a level in 6YMM this week. We know that because we played it earlier in the week. That's why Mang has also been watching some other streams at the same time. That's what was happening there. But that's okay. I'm fine with holding Mang to the end if need be. And thank you for that, Adam. As always. And so we'll just call in Mang as necessary, and if there's no check-in... Oh, Mang's here. Okay. And then, depending on the difficulty of this one, possibly including a hard path, we'll see what we have time for. You had to witness a historic moment. Yeah, I was just saying that I remember that your most recent 6YMM was from this week with the Isle of Sands level. And Major, welcome. Major had a great time with Blast Puzzle when we played it yesterday. We played it on the puzzle stream, and it was very satisfying to figure out. We have to catch up on his profile. Let's do... Unless you have a strong preference, we'll just do a Hammer Bro in a Cloud. And yeah, Dark Koopa Troll, I think I'm pretty familiar with your style by now. You just run forward and kill Yoshi. Anyway, I've been looking forward to catching up on this one, so let's take a look at a Hammer Bro in a Cloud. And yeah, man, you'll need to tell me about that historic moment later in terms of where I can find it. I assume that it's from one of the 6YM playthroughs, but maybe it's something else. Interesting that you would get sniped precisely in that location. I do kind of have to dodge. I can't just go forward. Okay. Yeah, I still need to think about my positioning here. Okay, you can't tell me about it because it would spoil me. Alright, alright. That's fine, man. And... yeah, I'm gonna have to play around this fairly carefully. Nolan the Pug, welcome back. It is partly a timing thing. If we stay up high while the hammer is being thrown, then we can actually dodge it consistently, I think. We have enough space to do that. What we can't do is just run forward and hold right the whole time. We do have to dodge actively. I always wonder about these things because a lot of Mang's setups and platforming elements are designed to be very speedrun friendly, and so I was thinking, oh, do I just go as smoothly as possible and have a very reliable timing for everything? But I think it is going to be easier from a completion perspective to just try and dodge and just watch the cloud pattern a little bit better. Oh, nope, try to dodge the hammer. Totally missed. And yes, Luca, it is absolutely Mang's level. You can tell because there's a Hammer Bro in a cloud. Just as advertised. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, it is kind of a hammer timing thing. That's what this level is all about. Okay. I wanted to throw that forward, and I was making an emergency adjustment when I was doing that. And yeah, Luca, definitely looking forward to the new level that you just mentioned. Whatever that may be. Side thwomp. Thought that was fairly clear. Another side thwomp? Yes. And in the pipe. 555. Here's a checkpoint. And we'll do a couple dodges. Oh, grasshopper section. Always fun to see references to other Mang levels in newer Mang levels. Yeah, because this bit with the one-tile vine climbs to keep you off the ground, this is similar to the mechanic in a level by Mang on the old profile called Grasshopper. That one was a clear condition level where you don't touch the ground, but it gave me more practice than I care to admit when it comes to clinging onto vines like this. And of course here, that condition is just being enforced by the one-tile spikes everywhere. Let's try to time this out a little better. And Javashu, if that's how I pronounce your name, it's going alright. Okay, let's see here. Blue yes, I play way too much Animal Crossing. I haven't really improved my town in, well, really the past year or so. The last time I did significant renovations to it was when I created a whole landscape garden in one quadrant of my New Horizons town. A little over a year ago. Since then, I haven't really been doing many improvements. I've just been collecting artwork and such. So every now and then I just log in and buy more art. And so I have, like, multiple copies of the Mona Lisa now that are all reportedly genuine and have been certified by Leathers as being a real thing. You went back to New Leaf last month. Yeah, the last time I checked into New Leaf was right before New Horizons. At that point, I hadn't played New Leaf in a long time. I would check in for the New Year's fireworks every now and then. New Leaf was one of those games where I thought New Leaf was fantastic. I think it's absolutely packed with content, but the issue that I had was that I had these beautifully laid out paths and houses and even a town map that I had scrolled onto the signs and all that. And of course, as you know, with New Leaf, it just takes one random villager to move into the wrong spot to spoil everything. Particularly because you can't really block every spot with the public works projects, which is the usual strategy for trying to constrain their move-in space. There was one particular spot I just was not able to block, and then my paths got wrecked, and from there on, I just gradually lost interest in New Leaf. New Horizons, I think, is a game that you really do have to make your own fun in. It feels like the most front-loaded Animal Crossing game, in that there's tons of stuff to do at the beginning, but very little to keep you around in the long term, simply because that sense of generative variety isn't quite there. Like, I think the player actually has too much control in some ways. And this was something that people did foresee about the design, that the customization, of course, was very exciting, but in the end, if the player controls everything, then you lose a lot of that appeal of playing around unexpected circumstances. I mean, I still don't want animals to be moving into every possible location. You're supposed to jump onto jump blocks to hit the hammer. That claims the key. And we'll catch up on what you said about New Horizons in just a moment. And Java Shoe, yeah, I'm glad you think that these are words of wisdom. They're mostly just words about video games, but whatever sounds like it comes from a position of authority and wisdom will work just fine. And yeah, the Hammer Bro has this thirst for blood that is insatiable. In a New Horizons code, it makes rare fish more likely to spawn if you don't have it yet, yeah. I didn't know that, actually. But it makes sense, given my experience with it. I don't have 100% collection on the fish, just because I missed certain seasons, I think, but... I think, too, with New Horizons, that one of the issues is that so much of the customization has been displaced outside of the house that there isn't much use for a lot of the item collection for things that only go in your house. Things like the rugs, for instance, or wallpapers, carpets, etc. Like, I'm just absolutely overflowing with that stuff. But I'm just kind of done with the house, right? And so there's so much that you could do with the exteriors if you were able to put rugs there, for instance. Specific fish like the golden trout don't follow that code, I see. Yeah. As I often observe with games like roguelikes, and this kind of applies to Animal Crossing as well, I find that, you know, when you have some degree of randomization to promise the player infinite or near infinite content, if you sort of understand how the generation algorithm works or what range of possibilities it's going to give you, and if you just kind of understand what the process is, suddenly it feels like it has less content rather than infinite content. And that's usually the point at which I burn out on things like roguelikes, right? Where, yeah, sure, you're going to give me tons of new weapon combinations, etc., or whatever. Or lots of random pathways to go through the map. But it doesn't matter if I just understand intuitively what the limits are on the possibilities that I'll get, right? And I think a lot of the issues that you're describing with New Horizons are very similar. That it kind of doesn't really take long to understand a range of things that you're going to experience. And so, like, just tacking in more content doesn't actually feel like more content. Although I am excited for what they'll do with the Animal Crossing Direct that's coming in October. I feel like there's some chance of that being a substantial update. Okay, I nearly stomped him. That's clearly what you're supposed to do. But with a smoother timing. Look at that. What a dodge, and what a Muncher death immediately afterwards. Yeah, it's sort of interesting that they implemented a cafe by just dumping it in a museum. Maybe on the assumption that a lot of people with mature towns at this point have just covered the whole map. Yeah, so one of the things with Animal Crossing, for instance, that I found a lot less interesting than it used to be was just the villager personalities in general. Because now you can just predict everything they're going to do by, you know, which personality category they fall in. And, you know, to some extent that was always the case, but it seemed like the writing used to disguise that much more successfully. I wonder if you could actually move the hammer out to right side and jump on it and claim the cloud, like if you jump over to Muncher here. Or if the Muncher is meant to prevent that. You can totally do it, I think. Do I want to risk something like that? You know, because what if the hammer moved to the right of the Muncher? And then you took that. Am I in a main world or sub-world? Because if we're in the main world, we can actually check that. We're in a sub-world, okay. But there is something to the left, so we will check it. Because maybe this is hard mode. You've seen a whole YouTube video on the villager's personality and how it's changed, I see. Hard mode is a 10 coin. Of course we're doing it. It's extra content. We're absolutely doing it. Okay. It's very satisfying to get the kill, though. Especially because this guy has been a nuisance to you the whole level. And it's always nice to set that up, that you have this boss character, really. And so the level spends its time trying to give you plenty of motivation to just kill him as viciously as you can. And then you do it. That completes the narrative. Yeah, the back and forth there is quite nice. Feels pretty safe, too. Nope, too short a jump. And yeah, J. Eagle, even in New Leaf, they were already toning down a lot of the old meanness of some things in Animal Crossing quite a bit. Which I thought did detract from its character a bit. Like, you can really kind of tell, actually, with the way that, starting with New Leaf, Isabelle just totally took over as the face of the series. Whereas previously, I think you could say that the lead NPC would be Tom Nook. But yeah, probably no coincidence that the popular appeal of the series certainly took off with Isabelle just being this totally kind of harmless main companion character. Mind you, I do like that she made it into Smash. I thought it was a very inspired addition. But yeah, Isabelle is actually incredibly boring in New Horizons. I think that's one thing that, you know, really stuck out at me about the game and the warning announcements and all that. Like, she's literally just spending all her time on the island watching television. Although sometimes she solves crossword puzzles, or fails to solve crossword puzzles because she hasn't been watching my stream. I'm still the only person to have beaten your one-screen platforming level, which... I'm trying to remember which one that was. Because I've beaten a few of yours now, I'm trying to remember what the one-screen one was specifically. Yeah, like, am I thinking of the Night Airship one, like the one where you pop the Mecha Koopas all day? That wasn't one screen, though. That was pretty wide. Nice dodge over there. This guy totally should be in Smash. I'm finding that I'm not particularly invested in who is going to wind up as the last character in Smash. I've basically gotten who I wanted, who was within the realm of possibility when it comes to DLC characters. I was overjoyed that we got Min Min, for instance. Because Min Min was my main in ARMS. I've played way more ARMS than I played Smash Brothers, to be honest. Because I really got into ARMS when it launched on Switch originally. And thought it was a fantastic game. And we got Pyra and Mythra. That was a lot of fun, even though I've hardly played with them, in fact, because I was already kind of not paying attention to Smash by the time they came out. That's a good observation, Jay Eagle, that the DLC character is on the same day as what's going on with Nickelodeon. It's sort of been interesting to see the Nickelodeon Smash clone get so much attention, much more attention than the usual Smash clone, I think. But it's a good set of properties to work with. Like, if you're going to build an all-star party fighter game, that's one of the better stables of intellectual property you could work with. Blue Blur, I should try a Smash stream sometime. No, not likely. There are things I love about Smash, but I'm not good at the game. And like, maybe I just do a home run contest stream or something, but even so. There are people that I think you would probably rather watch if you wanted to watch Smash. But yeah, Smash is one of those games where every time a new Smash comes out, I think, okay, now is the time that I'll actually properly learn how to play it and really understand a character or two really well. And I never really find a time to stick with it, because too many competitive games get my attention, and you can only put into practice for so many of them at once. It's more that, you know, it would be nice to be good at Smash, but I would also rather be good at other stuff. And all of it requires tons of study and time investment and practice. If you want to play a multiplayer game at a, not even necessarily a competitive level, but at a level where you feel like you can survive against randoms online. Jay Eagle, you played at a tournament level. Congratulations. Yeah, I've always respected competitive Smash a lot, because I kind of have a sense of what goes into it in terms of, you know, not only your precision with the tech, but also just matchup knowledge. Tons of matchup knowledge, and just the depth of the game design in general. But it's one of those things where, like, I've just never been able to put into practice to learn stuff and retain it. Especially with the matchup diversity being so huge in Ultimate. I'm not sure if it's still the case, but I was very impressed back when I was paying attention to Ultimate with just the incredible viability of so many characters that, you know, you didn't see the tier list get stratified nearly as quickly as in the other games, I think. Dark Coup Patrol, have you been counting? Yeah, the thing is, I've already beaten this guy. It's just that I want to do the 10-coin room at the end. And I've tried to beat him a second time so I can get back to the 10-coin room to attempt it properly. So, actually, it's not that I've scored 0 against him. I've already scored 1 against him. It's just that we're going back for more. I really do wonder about that muncher on the right side. I think that maybe it's set up to constrain you, though. And yeah, we were on track to kind of finish ahead of schedule today, so I'm going to take my time to do bonus content on this, for sure. Especially because I know some of the ones after this in the queue might be shorter. And yeah, Blue Blur, if you have to go, you have a good night. Yeah, because let me just check the current state of the list. Major, did I cheese your level? I don't think I cheesed it. Did I, or... I mean, I don't know what I did that could possibly be considered a cheese, because I thought I had to figure it out, like, really figure it out step by step, unless it's something to do with the... So, was it the damage boost with the P, or was it the donut block timing at the end that I cheesed? Like, what was the thing that I did unintentionally? I still have the level fairly fresh in my mind, so if you describe it, I will probably understand. Blowing up the block under the P, okay. I thought that was the intended solution because the timing to get up to the icicle after that seemed so perfect. But a lot of the timings in that level seem perfect, right? Like, they just line up very well, and... Because, yeah, I guess maybe it was supposed to be something to do with donut timing to get a bomb over to the P. Because it wasn't until the very end when I was doing the on-off gate that I understood that manipulating the donut timing could actually get you through faster. But yeah, I don't think I even saw the alternate solution unless I mentioned it and didn't try it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. Like, yeah, it was a bit of a weird moment, but it totally looked like it was within the realm of possibility for a design solution. Are we really doing all this for 10 coin room? Yes, we are, because I don't have the clear yet, do I? I didn't actually finish with the clear. Whoops. Yeah, Major, I'm glad you enjoyed the playthrough. There was one revision of yours, I think it was the most recent Yoshi puzzle, that I did offline because I saw the first clear up for grabs, and I thought, okay, you've seen me play an early version, let's just replay it. And I remember that the changes were actually bigger than I expected, but... so we didn't get the most recent version on video, but... at the time I just wanted to grab first clear and move on, so... Hey, big raid from Cannibal Turtle, which first of all confirms that we're actually successfully receiving raids, because for a while earlier this week I was not. Let's give a quick shout out to Cannibal Turtle coming in with a substantial party of 92. I also realize at this point that I don't actually have my alert sounds set up properly, but you'll have to imagine that yourselves. If you didn't manage to hear it. I think I actually forgot to get my alert sound set up when I did audio for this stream earlier, because I did set up for this stream in a bit of a rush. Your internet on your streaming PC went out of whack. That's unfortunate to hear. I hope you managed to fix that up quickly enough. And Spirit Wolf, thank you for bringing so many emotes as well as so many people with you. Yeah, sorry all the people who followed as well earlier today. I guess you didn't hear the alert sound of which. Oh, and Dark Coup Patrol, you subbed earlier today and you didn't hear the sub sound, so that's unfortunate. No, it's just sound effects from Wind Waker, actually. Like, it's the battleship game from Wind Waker, where a follow is a sploosh, and a subscription is a kaboom. And I didn't realize until just now that my sounds were not properly activated. Anyway, as you can see, just trying to beat this hammer We'd beaten him once before, but I tried to do a fancy bonus objective and lost. You got raided by Raisefire with 475 and then disaster hit. Yeah, it's very unfortunate when that happens. I had something similar last week where I think I got hit with a Roru raid, and it wasn't a technical problem. I suddenly had a huge interruption off stream for something that was a bit of a household emergency, and luckily we did survive that. But yeah, always awful to have internet problems while you're streaming. So, my sympathies, but also my thanks for receiving all of your good people. But yeah, Dark Coup Patrol, sorry you didn't get to have the satisfaction of the sub sound effect earlier today. So, Cannibal Turtle, hope you were able to play some decent content before things totally gave out. Well, I mean, it does look really fancy when you manage to dodge this guy. It is kind of a timing thing. Then you get into the safe zone. Nope, got bounced out of position. Okay, here we are. Yeah, we're probably going to be in for a lot more of this if we do go back to that 10 coin. I might grab the clear first and come back for the optional objective afterwards, but we're this far already, so sunk cost fallacy. Stinjar, welcome. Welcome back. Okay. Nope. Yeah, once again, I really need to let this guy throw first. Jay Eagle. Yeah, I hope you managed to get some sleep. We will change to Toadette to give her a chance. Starting with the next attempt. So thank you for that request from Spirit Wolf. And yeah. Drag over. Yeah, really cool boss idea though, for sure. Very stylish when you do dodge him. I need to find a camera position such that his turnaround happens pretty much at the note block. However, when I jump towards that note block, that will scroll the camera, and so it's actually kind of difficult to plan. Like, you do need to just intercept the hammer's movements very intuitively. You were doing some speed runs that were going well, yeah. And yeah, Dark Coup Patrol, I'm trying. That's okay, we'll kick back and kill some Yoshis afterwards. That's exactly what we'll do. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Then, yeah, going to go down there. And yeah, it's okay. We had so many short levels earlier today that I'm totally fine with taking my time on a full-size Mang Mang 69 experience. Now I definitely feel like I have to grab that 10 coin at the end, though. I mean, I feel like that's going to be a terrible idea, but we'll do it. Look at a hammer just kind of going straight up and down when it's thrown at the turnaround location. Whoa, nope. Trying to dodge that guy from under, and not so much. Spirit Wolf, no, it's not really that frustrating. It's such a dynamic level in terms of having so much room for you to react to things that it always feels fantastic to do it successfully, like each element at a time, so... I haven't found a deaths too off-putting so far, even though with the hammer positioning, they can be a little bit difficult to predict. Like, it's a very chaotic level, but one that, because of the very open movement of the hammer, also gives a lot of openness for the player, and so you get to make lots of choices when it comes to positioning and timing, and so it's just very dynamic all around. Like, it's not really strict about patterns anywhere, and so... For some players, I think it's going to feel very random in a way if they can't just follow a strict set path that they can improve. But I tend to like lots of flexibility in player choice in platforming, so... This one definitely sits pretty well with me. Whoops. And yeah, thank you so much to the patience of both Dark Coup Patrol and Aegis Cook as we push our way through this one, which has been taking a while. Due to some recklessness of mine as I went for the bonus objective at the very end. Whoops. I am hoping to actually successfully finish this, but we'll see. Whoops. You know, Dark Coup Patrol, there are a few things I miss more in Paper Mario than the Coup Patrol. Like, I always thought the Coup Patrol was just a fantastic design. One of the most memorable character designs in the Paper Mario series, in fact. And a really functional one, too. I mean, like, the whole point of the Coup Patrol is to kind of mix up the combat a bit with some additional constraints on what you can hit, right? So... But as far as the sort of Paper Mario originals go, I always thought it was one of the best. I'm just reminded of that because of the emote that you have here, of course. Nope, almost. Yeah, I just need to drag him into a better position. Nope. You miss Kami Koopa as well? Yeah. You know who I really miss from Paper Mario? And who I think should really have gotten into Smash is Rock-a-Hawk. Probably too much of a side character for that, though, but... Actually, I mean, I'm one of the people who always thought that Paper Mario could have used a separate moveset instead of just a stage. Because there's enough going on that's unique to how Paper Mario works that you could totally sustain a whole Smash character with that. You know, have a version of Mario that actually uses his classic hammer from Donkey Kong, as well as all of those different paper movement skills that you have in the overworld. And have a final Smash where you have that Thousand Year Door Star Power, maybe. Or something to that effect. Okay. No. The thing is, when I do land on the note block and miss, it does throw off my timing. The hammer totally is learning on every attempt. He's getting smarter. Yeah, I'm glad there is that Paper Mario stage, of course, but in general, ever since Smash 4, and a lot of the stages carried over to Smash Ultimate, of course, I've found that the stage design has been a lot less mechanically adventurous than it used to be. I mean, people have all kinds of issues with Brawl, even I have some issues with Brawl, but the thing that Brawl really brought to the table was like some really inventive stage ideas that were totally not competitively viable, but which really brought out the flavor of their original games. Like the WarioWare stage, the Electroplankton stage, you know, all that stuff. Whereas it seems like with a lot of the original stages in the more recent Smash games, that a lot of them just kind of feel like background tours, where you zip around on a platform and the background changes, and you have this tourist perspective on the game, and you don't do much else with that. Like, mechanically, there's nothing going on. Like, you don't have anything quite as interesting as some of the wilder and less competitively viable stages from the past. Whoa, okay. Yeah, it's when my timing gets thrown off by the note block that it's very tricky. But yeah, Smash reveal will be, I guess, next Tuesday. That will be right after we play 6YMM on our Monday to Tuesday stream, if we go with the usual schedule. So we'll have that. We'll have the Smash Direct. And off stream, I'll be trying to cram Metroid Fusion at some point this week. And yeah, busy days ahead. Anyway, the thing about this level, though, is that the potential for really stylish escapes is very high. Like, you can really do a lot of fancy stuff. Oh. No. How is that a miss? Imagine trying to go for a record time on this, too. Oh, I see. We're off-center on a note block, so I'm not being lowered onto that location sometimes. You have to hit dead center. Kobe QQ, welcome. Okay.
Yeah, this stuff at least we can get pretty reliably. Doing anything reliably with a hammer bro and a cloud is definitely an achievement. Nope. Come on, throw. Nope. Don't throw. Yeah, even the icicle drop there where you run past and go back is a feature of a lot of Mang levels, now that I think about it. It's one of the less noticeable ones in terms of things that very frequently show up on the Mang style guide, but I've seen it so many times now in so many contexts that it does begin to look familiar. Whoops, just didn't get the climb that time. Mostly because there are so many Mang levels that are based on momentum control, of course, where you would overshoot something like the icicles and have to go back. The wiggler spacing is actually really satisfying there in terms of being able to just head there quickly and directly. Yeah, weaving backwards and forwards there is going to work pretty well. Nope. Base in the hammer every time. Hey, I have beaten him once in my defense. Just once, but we did it. But yeah, definitely one of the tougher enemies that we've had to deal with so far. Whoops. No. Bad idea. That's okay. That's why I closed the queue when I did, so we would have enough time as a contingency for things like this. But yeah, we've gotten absolutely smacked by this guy. No, Kobe QQ, what happened was that I beat him. I got past a key door. And then I saw a bonus segment where you need to fight like 8 of these guys for a single measly 10 coin. And of course I said, okay, we're doing it. You can imagine how that turned out. Because yeah, originally it didn't actually take that long to beat this guy, and then we've been a little bit jammed on him ever since. Because I still don't actually have to clear yet on this. Okay. It's very much a timing check all around, a lot of this stuff. Okay. And der Bescheidwisser. Well done. In a manner of speaking. Okay. Yeah, we are getting absolutely smacked by this guy. I don't think I really counted how many attempts it took me originally when I cleared him the first time, but we've definitely spent much longer on the second try than we did with the first try. Yeah, because I actually did get him down fairly quickly, at least in comparison to everything that has happened since. And Yeah, since then it has not been so successful. Okay. And the interceptions are only getting more vicious. Let's try this again. Nope. No room to move there. Sometimes you can just tell that a particular attempt is not going to go. And Kobe QQ, you just woke up and you'll be programming for the next few hours. Yeah, best wishes with that. Always good to have a good unbroken chunk of time for that if you can manage it. Oh, that was the perfect position that time, and then we just didn't hit him. I feel like there's a particular method that we just never found. But because I scroll the camera as I move towards him... You see, that would have hit if I had just gone maybe slightly ahead of the hammer. Like, you can't really just plan around a static position in that area of the level, because as soon as you approach the hammer, you move the camera. And if you move the camera, you also manipulate the cloud position. Potentially. And so... you just have to anticipate its movement very well and basically track two different timings at once. The cloud timing as it goes left and right, and the hammer timing as it's being thrown. And yeah, the accuracy is astonishing. I don't know how I keep winding up with the hammer. Like, knocking out my teeth here. And that Dark Coup Patrol, I'm glad you're keeping track. It's been remarkably difficult to get the second kill on this guy. Yeah, imagine that, just deciding to take up a program on radio instead of practicing your hammer dodging all day. One of these is a more useful life skill, and the other one is just talk. Oh, here we go. Wow. Like you were saying, astonishing accuracy. I mean, the coverage on that hammer is really good when you consider how the cloud is moving. Like, if you look at the sort of horizontal sweep of the hammer, it covers a lot of tiles. Especially when it's moving with the cloud direction, which very often it is. Okay, here we are. Amazing spacing. Absolutely amazing spacing. You know, Dark Coup Patrol, now that you mention it, I have no idea what clear rate was going into this. I have no memory of it because it was so long ago. Here we go. Here's the moment of truth. Okay, Dark Coup Patrol, that's a 2 for me. I feel like this is actually manageable. Except now their timing is staggered. Maybe it's not so manageable. It's totally worth it. What are you talking about? We just need to make it out alive sometime within the next 200 seconds. Their timing now is actually more difficult to see, though. So, even though we didn't scroll the camera at all. Ooh, I don't know about this. The clear rate was 1.88 before I played this. Yeah. Well, looks like some people don't care as much about the 10 coin. Hey, technically, if you think about it, if I've beaten this guy 2 times out of like 150 something, if I had chosen not to go for the 10 coin, and if that was indeed the end of the level, the clear rate would actually still be above 1% in terms of my success rate with this. So theoretically, we were doing okay. Theoretically. I didn't know that the hammer pattern was going to change by that much when it went to right side, though, in my defense. I think something happened with the change in the facing direction. I did get the coin, but I didn't get back out safely. I don't know if that counts. I guess it counts in Mario. But I've always found that I preferred platformers with collection systems that actually did make you land safely with the collectibles, so you can't just kamikaze into it. Like both Rayman Legends and Celeste were particularly good about this, in fact. Like making sure you landed for it to count. Yeah, because it was actually fairly simple to get the coin, but getting out was suddenly this terrifying pattern. And I didn't expect it to stagger by that much. Well, we did manage to get him down quickly that time that I actually did get the jump successfully. Yeah, the speedrunning approach to this must be interesting. For sure. Because they basically kind of synchronize. But then, I guess when you pass them, they don't turn around at the same rate, maybe? Or, oh, no, maybe they kind of desynchronize over time. I'm not exactly sure. Next time. Next time. Oh, bonus objective. Does Boom Boom actually hit here, though? If we hit him, we need to be aware of the spike, maybe. We may go back to that at some point, Kobe Kiku. I just want to make sure I get to the rest of the people in the queue first. I'm actually totally okay with replaying the level for that 10 coin. And we may have to do it at some point. We'll switch back to Luigi in just a moment. Yeah, no, there are 1 or 2 other Meng levels where I haven't done the bonus objective yet. And so I think at some point if we have like an overflow stream, like another unfinished business stream, which I do every now and then for viewer levels I didn't quite complete, we may try to do true ending for this. But right now I just want to make sure we get through the other 2 submissions. And I did get half the coin. It was worth half. We just didn't manage to escape with it, so. According to Marvin Beach Mouse's request. We'll do that. Thank you for the GGs. I feel like that was only partly earned. We did beat the guy 3 times, which is worth something. Dark Koopa Troll, thank you again for the sub earlier today. Let's kill some more Yoshis just to have a bit of catharsis. No, I just don't want it to run into the risk of having to cut off the stream before I'm able to finish the rest of the queue, so. Super Beast GN shows, oh my, Death to Yoshi is required in nature. 100% clear rate, okay. Very new upload, though. Trick there was to just jump behind the Hammer Bros and ignore the patterns. I'll have to think about that later to determine if you're just kidding around with me. We need to kill 1 Bowser. Okay, a little bit blind there. I guess you know that it is going to be something maximal, but I did murder the clear rate. I already murdered the clear rate. That's nowhere to go but down, really. Yeah, and then we'll twirl afterwards. Okay, that killed more Yoshis. We didn't actually need that, but we do need to spam this guy. Yeah, one of the issues here is that if you do lose the flower, it is unwinnable. I'm pretty sure. But you can hopefully just spawn back in here too. Grab another one. Yeah, because if you don't have the clear condition, then ideally you wall jump up through the pipe, grab a new flower. And, yeah, sorry about that clear rate. Firepower in blue pipe. Oh, you mean it spawns from the pipe. Okay, I see. Thanks for that. Not as much of a Yoshi massacre as the ones that we saw earlier. But good to play a whole bunch of these today, Dark Koopa Troll. And let's take a look at Aegis Cook. This will be the last one in the queue. And yeah, for those who came in late or who have other things to send me, or anything like that, tomorrow we will hopefully be back for more. And it might be my last viewer stream in a little while, so hopefully we'll see some good submissions. For now, though, we have a playtest or an offered first clear, one of the two, I guess, on Gardener by Aegis Cook. Very, very new upload. Redo the plant beds and they will give you flowers. Let's take a look. Love the thumbnail image, by the way. Reach the goal as Fire Mario. That's going to be impossible, but Fire Luigi might be in the cards. Oh, this one. Yeah, yeah. No, I remember this. We played the earlier version and we broke some stuff, I think. I should have recognized it from that thumbnail, in fact.
because we playtested an early version of this last week and hit timeout a lot. But then I was figuring some stuff out on the fly, so always glad to give this another look. So the central concept of this level is that you're eventually going to go through this whole tower and spawn the central set of vines all the way up to the top. In order to do that, you need to go up the tower and break everything along the way, and to do that, you have to use the on-off switches to punch the cannons upwards, because they get displaced as you do that, which is really neat, and which Nintendo hopefully won't destroy. Okay, it looks like it's going to be a bomb on this guy. Oh, whoops, no. Let's get the bounce first. I don't remember what I did to get this timing to go cleanly. There we go. That's going to be arrow shot on the next one, I think. Okay, up here. Master Sword plus reset room. Let's grab the Master Sword. Okay. Down here. I better jump. Whoops. Then we'll hop on these guys. Yeah, I'll want to create 2 so we can actually get a nice high set of jumps. Assuming that it lines up conveniently. Which it will do. That should be within range. Good. And let's tap this guy. No, too high. One moment, let's reset this. Yeah, so the gardener is going to tell you to redo things. Doesn't like the state of the garden. I like this little knob here, actually. Was that added since last time? I think it might have been. Just to get this jump to clean up a bit. What do we need the Buzzy Shell for here? Oh, this is redesigned, okay. Buzzy Shell would actually hit the on-off switch down below. Oh, let's not do that. Reset. Okay. Then, is that too high? No, it's not. Okay. Move this guy out of the way. And then we punch this, because that will raise cannonballs. Nope. Wrong side. Okay. I feel like I won't be able to get high enough anymore, though, if I do this. Unless we... Yeah, because unfortunately this is going to raise way too high now. So I need to send a shell all the way down here. Without jumping back down, or in a way that allows me to jump back up first. Okay. Oh, wait, no. It'll just go down now when you respawn because of the broken block. So I guess to reset is probably necessary to do this cleanly. And that's okay, then. We'll Do this, and then ride this out. Yeah, that's the first time I hit a required reset. Unless there's a cleaner way to do it, but given the shell deflection off that column down below, I think there isn't. Yeah, I can see that this tightened up a couple of the former ideas. That's a vine. That just makes sure that respawns. Yes, this is the bomb crush area. And we can always reset once again. And oh yeah, that's the thing that I kind of cheesed last time as well. And that I tried to hold a bomb up here. Maybe that's still possible. And then you would just go up this way. I think that might still be a cheese, but at least we're able to go back down. If we tap everything. Oh no, that might even be the right way now, actually. It looks like cheese. Absolutely looks like cheese. But... maybe not. Oh, except it tapped a cannon up, but the blaster is still in place, so... I guess we do need to do something else, perhaps. Yeah, because I guess you need to raise this thing all the way up, so you can jump on cannonballs. But if you do that, then how do you get up? I guess you would need something like a shell deflection. Where does this get me? Not high enough. Oh, there's a little ledge up here. I didn't see that. Because that would allow you to hit the vine going down. Smash it up from above. So for example, you raise this. So it's still possible to jump on it in the 73 seconds we have remaining. Drop this, drop a bomb. Then you can tap all the way up. That will fire a cannonball. Whoops, and then doesn't get you quite high enough. I don't know if this goes any higher, in fact. Maybe, though, we can do... no, this was just cut through, right? Yeah, it cuts through. Yeah, due to the nature of this level being dependent on the scroll break, I think it also... Oh, I see. No, you need to get off screen for that. Okay, that's something that took me a moment to understand. We are going to time out, though. And so this looks like a... Oh, not a reset room. Okay. Resets you through the tower. So you do need to break the block, and then you go through, and then you spawn divines all the way up, and then you reach the goal. Okay. So if we had managed to do that cleanly, we would have been just within the time limit. So this run should be the run. And yeah, I just want to break everything just in case, so we don't need to commit anything to memory about what has or hasn't been activated. Okay. And that bomb over here. Nope.
Okay, there we go. Can't always get the timing cleanly on my first try, but as long as we can reliably do it at all, that should be fine. Yeah, I feel like with the vine the last time I played this, with the vine block that was on the right side at the end, I broke that in some irreversible way, I can't remember. And I think I tried the same break, in fact. Okay, let's try this once again. Nope. Coming in a little bit low. Trying to do this the fancy way here. I don't know if that is high enough. Let's raise it some more. Nope. Let's grab this. Everything does remain in position though, so that's fine. We'll lower this. And yeah, same idea here. We're going to bust this down and actually just reset immediately to... we don't even need to do that. We should just never have raised this guy in the first place. Okay, so the reset is not required. We just needed to wait down here instead of trying to bump the cannon up immediately. Okay. Bit dangerous to do it that way, but we got it. And that's successful. And now, same idea here. I know I sent that way too high. Way too high? No, we should be able to make it. And bust this. This will be a required reset, though, I think. I mean, I guess technically the bomb could have been within 2 spaces, and it would have been just fine if you wanted to do it with 1 run. We didn't need to do the rush necessarily. Yeah, look at this. Plenty of time this time. We've got 250 seconds left to clean this stuff up. Whoops. So yeah, we need to tap repeatedly until the thing has just been dismounted off the top. I was just 1 tap away from doing that previously, though. Bust everything down. Let's do it cleanly, too. And then we go back, loop around, grab the fire flower, grab the clear. Love how you kind of come down through a storm cloud, firing lightning bolts from above. Is there anything else to check up here? Let me just take a peek. Nope. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, we probably want to race this up. Or... well, not race it up, but follow it up. And not get smacked by anything on the way. And yeah, I'd forgotten that the central blocks don't actually matter, it's just the ones on the side that are required. And it's good that we remembered that, because it might have been very easy to make the mistake of just blowing up the central blocks. Although I guess because the bomb range is always going to be 2 tiles, you should usually not have that problem. It's possible. But here's the garden. The rooftop garden. That allows me to drop all the way back down and clear the level from outside. No it doesn't. It allows me to go out this pipe. Drop off the thundercloud. then clear the level, as long as we don't run into any spikes voluntarily. Oh, this is something. Oh, did that double up somewhere? Yeah, I guess so. This is the flagpole. Let's not get blown around by the wind. Wait, then what was to the right of this as we reversed around? Let's check this. Oh, it's a ruin. It's a ruined exit. And you probably could have smashed this stuff with Link, in fact. So, we missed some kind of secret here. It would be very quick to check that. Given that we don't need a fire flower to check it. So yeah, I'm going to go back into the level. I'm just going to check the right side after we clear this. Can we also go up top here? No, we can't. Okay. I like the use of the arrows here to create these extra tree stumps, actually. These trees that have been cropped. Well, thank you for offering me first clear on this draft. I don't know how much you plan to do with it, I guess, but let's grab Link and just check all the stuff on the right side. Yeah, one timeout, and fairly clear to me how it happened. I guess you have all these stumps here too. I love these decorations, in fact, that you, I guess, have all these wind-blown stalks here, where nothing is growing because nothing is quite fertile. Nothing here. I wonder if we can blow anything up to create like the middle passage and bump this guy. No? Alright, it's just a ruin. And we were wrecking it some more. That's fine. I doubt that you spawn blocked anything here with the remaining budget, so... And, yeah, nothing except, of course, just the storm clouds up top. As we could see. Lots of the redo rooms everywhere. Well, thank you very much for that. That is going to be it for this stream. I will not be able to stay long enough to try to grab the 10 coin on Mang's level today. But at some point, we're going to need to go back to that and have a rematch with that hammer. And with the other 8, for that matter. So thank you for joining me. As I said, tomorrow is going to be viewer levels, but also our last one for a little bit, because I'll be switching to Metroid next week. We will have 6 YMM, probably at the usual time. Monday night or Tuesday morning, depending on your time zone. And for now, we're going to pass you on to somebody else. I do have a stream in mind, and we'll send you there in just a moment, but yeah, you'll be fixing some small stuff. Looking forward to further drafts of the level, and of course, you're always welcome to send us more tests or the final version when you do have it. Meantime, I'll be picking your target very shortly. So thank you so much for watching. And we'll hopefully see more levels and just more company in general on the next stream tomorrow. And as always, have a good day in whatever time zone you're in, wherever in the world you are, and fare thee well.